Hello, Craig.
Oh,
Hello, GameBot.
hi, Craig.
Hi,
Craig,
Craig. We love
yes.
you.
Craig, we're always so
Hi.
fortunate to have you here in these recordings when we appreciate you
Yeah.
immensely.
You know
I
you're
didn't
part of the
see you come
team.
You
in.
the team, yes.
God.
Um, um, last time on Well Dressed Bones, we were in the town of Cedar Falls, originally looking for Fish's long lost son, Henry, who had been used for experiments by the Abomination and Jonas for seemingly a period of time until Fish discovered that they existed. And uh, the Fishes brought the entire team to Cedar Falls, which is covered in a anti-teleportation blanket in the same way as the ruins in which you met May. And now it seems like, as things have come to pass, you perhaps understand why, as outside of town seems to be a large ruin of the ancients as well, and that seems to be a type of technology that the ancients possessed, and potentially something that Jonas or someone else could figure out how to turn on. Um, the town was entirely taken over by the Abomination's people, and weird monsters seem to be a sort of testing ground for both new kinds of uh, horrific abominations being created, some that can pass as people, uh, others, less human-like, sort of at the edges of town, hunting stragglers and things in the woods, sort of becoming a company town for these experiments. And part of the experiments, and also in order to support them, a certain mushroom that was found in the ruins has been cultivated and grown and designed by the Abomination's people to increase its mind-altering effects. It seems like breathing in the spores, or as they've been able to draw out the relevant compounds and pump it into the aquifer, drinking it through the water, causes people to not be as scared as of things happening, unexplained circumstances going unremarked on, uh, people ignoring their feeling of wrongness or otherness regarding these experiments. You haven't run into any frogs in this area. It's kind of a cold climate. They're probably hibernating, but we can assume that they are gay. We can assume that they are they are homosexual amphibians, and you have found and recruited Henry's uncle, who raised him and served as his father figure, Oscar, a ex of Fish's, who has been traveling with you and who you've discovered was infected with a gray remnant, but not entirely, as you discovered that he had a natural magic from his native ancestors that sort of made animals more docile to him in a way, that has kept the remnant from like latching on to his soul the way it would for others. You look for Henry first in jail, where you knew him to be, finding that instead he had been replaced by a monstrous look-alike. Um, and and uh, when tracking past when tracking where he went, you ran into Jonas in the hospital complex, eventually escaping from there into the large facility that the Abominations people had created, and finding in that the entrance into the ruins, eventually rescuing Henry from some sort of ritual or thing that the librarian, who you had never seen physically at this point before, just someone who had operated from the shadows through through the Bargist that she had sent after necromancers, and through her mercenaries in the form of Kafan, Tesseract, and now Andy. Um, you managed, using Henry's powers, to sort of translate something, seemingly a tattoo having to do with the house. You managed to rescue Henry and start to escape. It's a very hard escape, but you did manage to get out, notably with the sacrifice of Fish. Fish staying behind to make sure you could get out, and Fish now having been kidnapped and taken underground to seemingly get experimented on, maybe. And while everybody else was able to retreat and rest and have some discussions and check in with themselves and some others, some discussions about maybe bringing in the Canadian sanctuary, or getting the Canadians to bring in the American sanctuary, something to give you some backup with this sort of army here, while also realizing that Henry's connection with Fish that exists now was able to, with quite a bit of work and some math from May, start to pinpoint where Fish had been taken, as you are traveling to find where that area is, and still have not, as far as I'm aware, come to a decision about whether you are rescuing Fish or just kind of like staying away and healing yourself and trying to protect yourself. Although I do think that Henry and Oscar at least are of the opinion that you are immediately going to rescue Fish. And so with that, I will say that with Ink's permission, Fish is going to be a little bit of a lighter viewpoint character for this session, as we will be checking in with them every once in a while. We will instead open with your party hiking through the woods, as you try and pinpoint where Fish is being held, the extent of sort of the abominations' control over the town is, and maybe find a way to rescue Fish or get some help. As you're hiking through, it's getting a little bit closer to evening. It's sort of sunset is very close, but is not quite happening yet. The sun is just starting to kiss the horizon a little bit as it gets darker, and you are probably going to have to find a place to spend the night if you don't find something soon. But you can also continue in the dark, and maybe that will help you with some sort of infiltration or something like that. As you are hiking along, Henry is very regularly kind of like pausing and checking the connection to Fish, May taking measurements and trying to chart where you are to try to triangulate Fish's position. You can see that Oscar and Henry have gotten like more awkward around each other as the kind of rush of the rescue and escape has worn off, and don't really seem to be talking to each other more than like absolutely necessary as you hike through. Is there anything anyone wants to do in this moment or prioritize?
Cal says, completely normal human interaction to me.
Yes.
No problems here. Cal has contacted the American Sanctuary. I don't know if you want to like iron out what way she did that.
I do think it becomes a question of like, Does Cal have the number to the American Sanctuary?
I was thinking she has the Canadian Sanctuary on Sending Stone because that feels
Yes,
like
she
something
does.
she'd do. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. That's all I'm
she,
asking for.
you, Cal absolutely has a way to reach out to the Canadian Sanctuary. I'm just not sure she could probably if she was in her temple be like, hey, Rousseau, get me the contact for the American Sanctuary. I just don't think she has it with her or memorized or anything like that.
Mm.
Then yeah, if you wanted to reach out to uh, the if you wanted to reach out to the Canadians and try to get their help or the Americans on their side, you can absolutely do that.
Yes. I don't know if we need to role play that out or whatever, but that is
At
definitely what she
least
does.
At least a little bit, if Cal
Okay.
is sort of making these calls as you're hiking through the woods. You are used to, being agents of the sanctuary, being investigators, which did mean you were kind of using sending stones to talk directly to Tone or talk to the sensitive team or the other detectives or the council of elders, things like that. You call and you get essentially the front desk. You get Tops, the Kranga,
Yeah.
who says,
Hi, Tom.
who says, "Yeah, this is the
Tops,
Canadian
this
Sanctuary speaking."
Tops, this is Abbott, Collisionist in the air. I have a
Ah,
an emergency to call in and ask for assistance on.
excellent. And what is the nature of this emergency, and who will you need to speak to?
Um, former okay, it was yeah, former sanctuary detective Fish has been captured, and I suspect we may also have a lead on the capturing of former agent Metalvant.
Oh, I am unsure what Detective Fish has to do with this, but I do understand there is quite a
Kidnapped by the same
commotion.
source. Kidnapped by the same source. Tops, keep up.
Ah, well, I suppose I will direct you to the investigation team. And hold on a moment. It seems like our fine new administrator would actually like to speak to you. Administrator Dong, please don't call me that. Hi. This is Colliginous.
Yes.
Um, where is Meadowant?
Um, we just had in a adoption of fish in a facility in Denver, and we suspect that if these forces have abducted fish, there was some evidence that they may have taken metal as well, but I can only confirm sightings on fish being captured.
Okay.
They're going like threading that line of that deception.
All right. And do you believe Mr. Drum to be part of this group?
No.
All right. We have some evidence that Mr. Drum may have been involved in the Vaunt kidnapping. And I've got to tell you, Abbott, we've got a lot of pressure on our end to get this solved and get her back home safe. Where is this abduction taking place? Where is the kidnappers residing?
What was the town again? Not
Cedar
Springfield.
Falls.
Cedar
Cedar
Falls.
Falls in Colorado, United
Cedar
States.
Falls, Colorado. It's a small town. We were
Damn it.
investigating a different case. It is within a blocked out teleportation zone.
Blocked out teleportation zone. Okay, shit. As you probably know, that's American territory, and the American Sanctuary has been more aggressively pushing their territorial rights. We can try to send in a team, but God damn it. Yes, we'll reach out to the Americans and we'll try to figure something out. What is the situation on the ground?
Um, so we are going to investigate ourselves, and I will be clear with you, Administrator. I always appreciate backup of cleavers, but most of the time they come in to just, well, move the bags. And she says, so we will do our best to um free any captives. Um, but we freed a captive that does not have any association with the American or Canadian sanctuary, and in the process of doing that, Fish got captured.
Okay, this non Canadian, non American, they're magical in some way or mortal?
Cal looks at Henry and goes, yes, they are magical.
Okay, and what is their nationality of origin?
Is that relevant?
Unfortunately, yes. If the
What are
Americans
you,
can claim him,
ice?
if the Americans can claim him, they will. They claim jurisdiction over all magical peoples within their territory.
So it's not even Neoterix?
Yeah.
You really need to be working on this governmental law. That is not acceptable.
It is not my country. I gotta tell you, Abbott, you deal with necromancer politics. I've got to work on the world stage here.
My God. Well, yeah, as far as I'm aware, he is an American citizen. I don't know. Covers up. Do you guys have like Mexican citizenry, anything like that?
I'm a Mexican citizen, but Henry, no.
Okay. Are you working on it?
I mean, so to Henry, I mean, I like to visit. I don't know that do I need citizenship? Is that a magic thing now that I like need dual citizenship or?
I mean, potentially the Americans, I was just hoping. It's a little sometimes just
You need an escape door to get out of this country if you need to. Just keep that in mind for the future. You're going to live a long time. It will be relevant.
Gets back on the phone with Dean. Is like, yes, American citizen, no dual citizenship.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. No, the Americans are going to claim him. We will try to send a team in support, but we're going to have to negotiate with the Americans. What forces?
Be
can we
honest
expect
with
on the
me,
ground?
Administrator. Is it even worth it at that point? I'm not. I'm going to be in a colossal amount of trouble if I put the former hostage in any sort of perilous situation. And again, I have come to accept the help of Canadian members and cleavers, but I have no experience with the Americans. It sounds like they spend a lot of time on paperwork.
What they don't spend on paperwork, they spend on raiding communities that ostensibly owe them loyalty. So,
Mikhail goes, oh my God, they are ice!
Yeah, they are ice. I did create this lore long before the current political crisis, but obviously, American history, not that much has changed in the modern age. The American magical body politic right now is essentially there's an American sanctuary that claims jurisdiction over the majority of the United States. There are a couple of places that are like their own exclaves. South Texas is technically part of the Mexican sanctuary, like weird things like that. But the American sanctuary is very new and the United States is really fragmented. There is just a bunch of like people that made their own like groups to run their own things during the war and things like that. And so the Americans are claiming jurisdiction over all of it, while people who live there may not agree. Cute. Everybody look at Allie. Cute. Yeah. um so there is this thing about being like about like Dean doesn't know what the situation in Colorado is. The Americans may be able to show up and be like, "Here's all of our cleavers. We're gonna rescue you," or they may be like, "So technically, there's this militia that claims that all of the magic in Colorado is theirs. So we got to make a deal with them, and then maybe we go in under their noses because it's close enough to Wyoming, which is somebody else's territory." So Dean is basically like Abbott, I can't make any promises other than that I'll try. Is this a good source of communication for you? Can I reach out?
Yes, it is a good source of communication. Just, we're competent people. Don't make the situation worse for us. If you don't have the confidence that you won't be able to make the situation worse, please do not help.
Being administrator so much. All right. Any information on enemy numbers or capabilities?
Cal goes in her head and is like, confidential, confidential, confidential. This has I'm never gonna fucking pronounce this right. The Baichu.
The Baichu Medical Company.
Baichu that's been reported to the sanctuary, right? Like we've considered that like safe to say.
I think you have told the Canadian sanctuary explicitly, like, hey, you should keep an eye on these guys. I don't think you've been like, they're a danger to the world, Jonas is working with them, but you've been like,
yeah.
Hey, these are a cause for concern, like potential criminal organization.
Cool. I would say in that Cal would be like, the Baichu medical group has a factory here. They are producing mushrooms that have a magical effect to cause a docile population to allow them to continue to conduct experiments. Numbers, I'd say over 1,000 here, which that's about ballpark where we're looking at, right?
Yeah, if you're including both staff and fighters, yes.
Yeah.
Which is like, the population of Roarhaven being like, this is quite a lot of hostiles for them to do it, and you can hear Dean is very unhappy to learn this because it seems like now they have to make sure they dispatch a team, because if the Americans are unchecked, they will probably take this mushroom research and try to do something with it.
Yeah.
You just kind of like opened up a can of worms of like international politics that means that you are probably going to get help. It is not necessarily going to be fast, and there will be a problem of being like, you can't guarantee that everybody's motives will be pure, You think that probably with all the danger of the Canadians and you helping them with issues, you can at least trust them to not fuck around too much with like destroying, dangerous technologies and stuff. Americans, a whole nother kettle of fish. But yeah, as you make these calls and Dean is getting information from you, it seems like they are going to try and get in there and back you up.
Okay.
All right. As you finish this this call, Tops says goodbye. Dean is at the end like and let us know if you see or hear anything regarding Metalvaunt or Cinnerdrum while you're investigating this. Abbott, if I can be frank, we know that Mr. Drum has been your companion previously and is likely involved with May Gladly.
Looks at May.
Not anymore, he isn't, but like under a breath.
Calls on speaker.
I would watch your back and very seriously consider whether to give testimony over to the sanctuary. This isn't going to go away. The society is very concerned about Vaunt.
What was the source for Mr. Drum being the source of the kidnapping?
Essentially, so we did say that canonically, like fish, like set things up that kind of maybe seemed like Sinner was involved. There is also the evidence of be like, okay, who's missing? And it's like, well, there's a bunch of catering people who we don't keep track of because we don't care about them. But Metal's gone, and nobody has seen Sinner since. After there was evidence that Sinner was involved somehow. So it is this kind of like, we can't guarantee that Sinner did it. It is deeply suspicious, and we are getting pushed to like give answers even if they're wrong ones.
Cal's
They
like,
fucked it.
I will give testimony if asked. I don't know the man particularly well. Miss Gladly is with me. I'm sure she will testify as well, but nothing we know. I know his past. I did not get the idea that kidnapping was currently in his present and day-to-day activity for him.
May is going through like, that was a kidnapping, that was a kidnapping, that was a kidnapping, that was a kidnapping. Yeah, 10 years.
To be fair, to be clear,
kidnapping.
she's doing this for Jamal, not for May.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Jamal got pissy with her, so she's like, I guess Syndrome's not evil.
May is like, Sinner has been clean of. I mean, we're broken up now, but Sinner's been clean of kidnapping for like at least 10 years. 11 if you're just talking about kidnappings where like people got hurt, you know.
I think like if May is somewhat near the stone, she would bend over and say something like, actually, Mr. Drum is busy preventing kidnappings, or a more political figure as his full-time job.
We have checked in with the African Sanctuary, and they said that while they do not have many observers in Sudan at the moment, they have not been able to track Mr. Drum to that location recently since Miss Vaunt's disappearance. But if you say that he is there or on his way back, I'm sure that'll pan out.
May is just like, yeah, let's see how it pans out.
Sounds like a Sinner problem.
For Boston.
Sinner is in a safe house right now with someone like sliding a dossier over to him, and he looks at it for just a second and says, I told you I'm out of that life. I don't kill people anymore. Slides it back. Well, you know what? Sinner's dealing with his own stuff.
You're in town. Come on. I'm letting you sleep on my couch.
If you don't take this job from me, we might have to reconsider your arrangements here. Anyway, yeah, it seems like you are gonna get help. Maybe not on a quick timeline, but I do think you know that like getting fish and getting out is certainly something that is within the realm of possibility. You could imagine yourself succeeding in doing that, maybe even without Henry or Oscar getting fucked up. I don't think you're like, we can take this town back. We can get these people safe.
Yeah, but
That
also,
is
who
too
cares?
much. Then yeah, as you continue to hike out, May and Cal having this kind of like quiet sending stone argument with the Canadian sanctuary. Maybe realizing that Tone obviously dealt with a lot of shit, and Dean is maybe not as equipped to handle it as Tone was because he's a lot less of a ruthless bastard. But while they see that you're distracted, Henry and Oscar take that opportunity to very cautiously kind of approach each other to talk. And here he goes. Uncle, I want to make sure you know that wasn't me. That wasn't me that attacked you. I know, Nino. You think I don't know my own boy? No, I know that wasn't you. It was all bullshit. Thanks. I know that we've had some hard times. Hard times. I mean, you threw a fire poker at my head once, like 2 years ago. It's not like it's out of character. I know you didn't do it this time. I know whatever your problems. You even if you don't want me in your life anymore, I know you wouldn't do that. It's not that I don't want you in my life anymore. When I came back to town, I was told by the Jonas creature or some of the others that I was told they'd hurt you if I talked to you, if I stayed with you. I had to hide. I had to avoid you. I understand, Nino. I'm sorry you had to go through that. So, this fish person that's really my dad? Or yes, your mother wanted to raise you herself. I know she didn't really mention them at all, but yes, that is your padre. It's been a long time of no contact, and I know that was hard, but you never asked, and well, I guess it brought up bad memories. Yeah, and I guess I'm magic now too, and you kept that from me as well. I had you tested when you were young, and they said no magic, no like the sorcerers, no and no native magic like from your mother and I, our ancestors in the Yucatan. But I guess they were wrong. I tried to give you a normal life, a mortal life, and well, I guess you got a little bit more of your father than we thought. I thought I was crazy. I know, Nino. I know. And as May is like, well, good luck with Sinner, and then you hang up. You are continue hiking out. Now that you've contacted the sanctuary, I would like May to give me a cartography check as you are trying to narrow in on where Fish is located.
22.
22, very
that
nice.
Double proficiency bonus.
Yeah. As the sun continues to slip towards the horizon, you are making extra special sure to keep track of exactly where the mountains are, and therefore keep your bearings better, as it's going to be dark in the not too distant future. As you're doing all of this reckoning and double checking your math, trying to triangulate fish, it's definitely leading you in the direction of where the warehouse was, where this facility was, but it is a little bit farther away from the facility itself than you would expect. That warehouse kind of like backs up on the mountain, and the ruins go underneath it. You are getting the trigonometry you're doing is really pointing to like fish being in the ruin, not in the warehouse. It's really showing like it's directing you almost exclusively to the mountain that this facility backs up on, and you are kind of like guiding the others on kind of like a diagonal approach to get more measurements and kind of see where things go. How close do you try and lead the others to this facility? How how close are you willing to risk the group getting in order to find out specifically where fish is?
Firstly, with the calculation she's doing, are they pointing downwards? Is she getting the impression it's underground, or is she too far away yet to get a sense?
You're a little too far away to be like definitely how deep it is, but you are getting calculations that are pointing to being underground. Like you're purposely having you guys walk up a hill and then redoing the math and then taking it again down in the valley to try to get like a Z axis, and it does seem to be pointing underground.
Okay. This is probably a long shot. Does May's obviously very familiar with caves and cave networks. Does she get the sense as they're approaching that there's something beneath the surface? Like I said, a long shot, but like even the geography may be giving an indication.
Not where you are, but I think with that cartography check, you are kind of like, this seems like the geology that would have like natural cave systems, and also you are like, I've been in ruins and I've been in caves, and what they're not is like a single hallway, which is essentially what you saw when you were underground.
Yeah.
Like they tend to spread out. They're kind of built like cities in a way. So being like, oh, there's just one long hallway, that doesn't make sense. There's got to be other entrances. There's got to be other places where those entrances are accessible or not. Whether they're like all built out or whether there's some natural caves in there that can kind of lead to the ruins, you don't know. But you do think like this area is probably riddled with at least some sort of cave networks, if not explicitly like part of the ruin itself, kind of spreading out. And because you asked that question explicitly, I'm going to say, give me another cartography check and see if it is higher. This is going to,
unlikely.
as you are bringing in your experience with ruins. This now counts as something from a past case, and this becomes a roll with advantage.
Ellie's like, yes, I unlocked the dialogue tree.
Thank you for giving me advantage, because that first roll was Pingus, but the second one was not. That is a 27.
Hell yeah.
Okay, 27.
Best roll was a 2.
It was Wingus instead of Pingus.
It was Wingus, you're right.
With a
Angus
20,
Tongus.
with a 27, you I still want you to answer how like close you're getting to the facility, and I will say make that choice before I tell you what you find.
Okay. One last question. When you said, oh, sorry, go on.
I will say just give me a general like as far away as is feasible. medium, some risk but better information, or close, more risk but much better information.
So the one question I have is, when you said it's a mountain, circumference-wise, is it something that, like, I'm trying to think how to explain what I'm visualizing. They're obviously a distance away. Would May be able to walk from, like, the bottom of not circumference? What am I thinking of? What's, like, the second, like, radius is half what, diameter?
Diameter, yeah.
Diameter, thank you. What's the diameter of the mountain?
So that is more of a nuanced question than I think May would know the answer to, because it is like it's not like a distinct peak like by itself. It's part of like a range of like hills and kind of like rolling down. Like,
it's a range.
This is
okay. I thought it was.
This is like highest. This is like the highest like hill or mountain like in the area you can see immediately around this facility, but then like the next peak is like 300 feet lower down or something like that. Like it's not like standalone in that way. It's a very very hilly area that like this little like flatlands where this warehouse was is like noticeable for being this little valley that kind of breaks up the hills.
Okay. In that case, I think May would suggest to the team staying maybe a kilometer out, but trying to find like somewhat of a hill land.
Okay. Then in that case, with a 27, as you are hiking in, you start to see not patrols, but signs of previous patrols. You start to see more paths beaten through the underbrush, footprints that are some human and some clearly not human, but not animal either. You are getting into like seriously patrolled territory, even though you're not seeing anything right now. Maybe the security is out like looking for you in another direction. Maybe they got pulled somewhere else. You're not sure, but you are in what you recognize as kind of like the beginning of dangerous ground. Yeah. As you hike up to a little hilltop, the last of the light from the sun kind of disappearing before the horizon. Getting the long shadows as the sun disappears behind the mountains first. The valleys becoming pools of darkness. You look out, and with a 27, one of the great advances of modern archaeology is being able to see things from above, being able to use a satellite or radar or something to see that what from the ground just looks like, oh, this is a little valley, but from the sky you can see the right angle of an old temple wall, how an area has been cleared. May essentially does that. May essentially does that, looking out and seeing if this was the ruin at its height when it was a place, what would it look like? And you see another valley a little ways behind this mountain that from ground level would just look like a valley. And from your height, with your experience, looking at it with these eyes, you see is artificially flat and rectangular in a way that is not natural. And as you think, nothing I saw in the Bayou compound kind of looked like an entrance. It looked like maybe a Jonas will eventually create the flat earth. He's building the glass dome right now. It didn't look like an entrance. Maybe that was a cave-in that like Bayou discovered or something like that. You look at that and you see that would be a site that I'm looking for. If I were approaching this as a dig, that is where I would go. That is either like the town that supported this ruin, or maybe that is some sort of like processional or entrance. That is a way in. You don't know if it's blocked or not. With a 27, it does it.
Ability to move rocks. If only
Yeah.
that was a cantrip.
It's crazy. It does occur to you that there are probably other ways in, but those are ones that you would have to hunt for. There's no like pattern you could apply. This, you're like, you look at that and you go, if we go there, I will find a way in. That is the main entrance to this facility. That is how we will get in. That will take us to Fish. And because you don't see any sort of like lights or settlements in this area, that it doesn't look like you're going to have to like, be close to others, be into town. That may be an escape route too. With that 27.
Life is good. Thank God, because I don't have any flash of geniuses. Okay, May's like eagle eye, Legolas, what do your eyes see? And turns around. Yeah, exactly. Between that and dark vision, baby. And she turns around to the others, and I like to imagine they're all like hunched really low, to prevent less of a. Anyway, and in a whisper is like, points out the flat square, probably realizing halfway through that the others don't have dark vision and might not be able to see it as well.
Okay. Darkness. Thanks, May.
Yeah, and not just it's dark. May is like, there was a village there. That's a ruin, and she points to what looks to you like a place.
Exactly.
This is like somebody going to your local park and like bending beneath a tree and tasting the dirt and going, "There's a Roman fort under this," and you're like, "What?
Sure."
Okay, sure.
It's like, look, I could spend hours explaining to you based on evidence and past expeditions why this is the spot, but that's the spot that's going to get us in. We can keep hunting for other ways to get in, but it's going to take time we don't have.
I will say, I'm being jokingly confrontational. I think Cal was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
And has
that attitude of like, if I hadn't seen you do this same kind of thing before other times, I would think you were an insane person. But instead, you're just going off, and I'm like, sure, why not?
So everyone else has seen the evidence of patrols as well. Yeah, like it's not just me.
Absolutely pointed out to them. I think
she
Oscar
would,
is also keeping an eye out because he knows the area better than anyone, and he's like, you're kind of getting into the backwoods area where sometimes people are like hunting deer or going for hikes, but like very few people kind of live out here, according to Oscar. So he is able to help you kind of like pick out the tracks and like what doesn't belong.
Cool. So May then says, everyone keep your soundstones close. I think we're going to, much more likely that we're going to run into people now, but let's start making our way down there. Just follow me.
Yep, slips on down.
When are you going to tell us to do a stealth roll, Patrick? I'm getting nervous. I keep waiting.
That is actually now, as you are getting to this place, you are by necessity having to move closer to where the facility is, taking you a little bit closer to the potential patrols. So yeah, everybody give me a stealth check.
I have a question for Ellie.
Yep.
And I have a question for Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Question for Ellie. I have 2 spell points left. Would we like to pass without trace?
Yeah.
Or do we want to save them? Just know. I could try to do the teleportation trick again. They probably are onto us by now.
Yeah. I mean,
Oscar has bad stealth.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, the question is whether my advantage and Cal's natural, I assume, better stealth can cancel
It's not
out.
that Oscar has bad stealth. He could be a lot worse. He doesn't have good stealth, is the thing. You all
I don't
have
have
at least
that great of stealth either. I only have +5.
Yeah, you only have a +5. Oscar has a -1.
You know,
That's a
You
very
never had to sneak up on a
for just
ball.
guy. Yeah.
maybe we could. This is. I don't necessarily know that I'm for this, but it is an option. We could see if Oscar has spell points that could be transferred to Cal with the rod.
I like how May's like, step on up, put your hand on the rod, just see what happens.
I just got to
Like-
level 3 with this thing.
I mean, that's something we could try as well. I'm also thinking, just like regardless, even if we didn't use past that trace, 2 spell points is not a lot to be going into potentially a hell of a situation. And there's no way May is going to get any spell points back without us taking an 8-hour break and potentially, I don't know, getting a dick cut off or something.
May and Cal being like,
To
fish
find a
is
smear on
fine.
the ground that you will identify as all that remains of fish.
Fish is probably getting like a manicure, honestly.
Oh, actually. Oh, wait, no. May can't give her cleric's badge to use temporarily because it has to be. It's like attuned to May specifically.
Yeah, Patrick's like, I'm
yeah.
not letting you break the system.
Yeah.
As Fish's owner, you can. You can have the 8 hours.
Yeah, but our characters wouldn't allow.
I was gonna say, yeah, Cal and May cannot consult ink, unfortunately.
Hey guys, I'm a huge fan. Have you liked my art?
Yeah, no, the art's great. I wish you had less of a piece of shit character, but it's fine.
So what do you reckon, Mooney? Would Cal be open enough to that anyway?
I think Cal would probably be like, let's do Paths Without Trace. I think she considers that a very reliable piece of magic. I think she thinks for the shadow walking, part of the reason I did an Arcana roll is that she was like, this is stupid and clearly not gonna work. And then the universe was like, this will work great. And she was like, really? So I don't think she'd rely on that for a second time, especially now that she's shown her hand.
We can always do the rod later as well if we're really being pinched. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then my second question is for Patrick, which is, what's Kakano up to? Who's Kakano hanging out with?
Kekino, you have seen, has been mostly in Oscar's arms. He's kind of like purring out loud. You think he's on like a bit of the catnip. But he did seem to be like trying to give comfort to Oscar and Henry, kind of recognizing that like May and Cal are professionals. They're like, Fish is in danger, just like has happened multiple times. We will deal with this. And Henry is like, I just found my dad, and now they're dead. So Kekino is like trying to comfort the two of them.
I mean, I'm gonna make an orphan joke. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Mooney
love
loves orphan jokes. Yeah.
So his whole life, Henry's been like, I'm an orphan, and then one day it's like, hey, here's your dad. Oh, I'm an orphan.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's entirely up to you guys.
Okay, yeah, Cal will do once May gives like the signal of like this is as close as I think we can risk it. Cal will do a Paths Without Trace.
Okay, cool. And we will do +10 for Oscar and Henry as well.
Love that +10.
Don't roll like shit.
Much better. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
love my
say
infusions.
yeah, I'm not gonna say this was like the most necessary choice in the world. Like you made the right choice in this moment. I will say Oscar really benefited from that +10.
I rolled a 2 for a total of 17, so did I.
26 for me. That advantage, baby. I love that infusion. Every once in a while, I think of swapping the. It's just too good. It's too useful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what was Cal's total?
17.
17. Okay.
Cal keeps stepping on twigs, and May's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Like,
It's your game. Is it because Fish disappeared? Fish is in danger, and you're like totally thrown off.
And Cal's still flashing back to, "You're so hot. That's so hot." She's like, "Yeah."
I was like, "No, actually, it's because I'm afraid I'm not going to get to see him die myself."
Mhm.
I'm so calm. There's so much peace and quiet. I keep being like, ah.
All right then. As you slip into the underbrush, as Oscar sort of shows you the path that you need to go with his modified 15 in stealth. Definitely the lowest of the group. Definitely like I hiked this place as a younger man, and now I'm like I didn't remember it being quite this steep.
My back hurt this morning.
Yeah.
He's pulling like a Bridget and is like, it's this way. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, I was wrong. Henry with a nat 20 for a modified 30 actually disappears for a moment of time. You are all tromping through the underbrush. May redirecting when Henry goes astray, and Kekino from when Oscar goes astray, Kekino from Oscar's arms go, "Hey, where'd Henry go?"
Cal yeah, was Henry wearing like a leather jacket or anything like that? Anything that she could pick up on?
No.
She's like, God damn it, I should have air tagged him with bone.
Yeah. Come back here. I need to pierce your ear.
This is a probably dumb question, but is the reason Cal can't track a live bone alive still? I'm presuming. Like,
Yeah.
there's no ability that'll let her track live bone.
Oh,
Okay.
I twisted Patrick's arm to be like, can I notice bones? And he's like, ugh.
Yeah, no,
Originally, okay.
there was a whole process of being like, you can sense where death is, and then she was like, bones or death? Yeah, I can sense dead bodies. If it's like not a whole body, but it's like part of a body, is that still okay? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And she's like, okay, so just like a couple of bones, I can sense that too. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then she got a couple of really high Arcana rolls, and I was like, there's bones and also some like leather. And she's like, okay, well, leather is dead, so I can sense leather too now. And that also means naturally I can sense like meat for things that have been butchered. And then she was like, so can I sense alive bones? I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. You have argued me so far from what this spell was supposed to do.
Does this mean Elise can track people by their live bones? Secondly, does this mean eventually if Cal they could track
Sorry,
the
you're cutting
entropy
out
of the
for a moment.
universe?
I think Cal, if Cal discovered her true name, she could track the entropy
Do
of the
entropy?
universe. Yes.
What about Elise's live bones?
Elise does not track bones in that way, but she does track life force and explicitly sexual energy, which means she is much more able. Boners. She is much more able to attract adults than she is like children. She's like, this person is 75% horny, which means I know they're within 30 feet of me.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's move on. I'm the one that started this, but I'm regretting it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way it is with Elise. Every time you like plumb a new depth to her power, you become disturbed all over again. That is her role in the story. Kekino was like, where'd Henry go? Brother! No, I need to be quiet. Brother!
Use your mind, Kekino.
I don't know that I can. Brother. And Henry steps out of the bushes. The branches like come back together almost soundlessly. He goes, "I did it." And he goes, "Oh, sorry. I knew we were by a campsite I'd been using, and and he holds up like a very old ratty backpack that he has full of supplies that he found with his Nat 20. And so you'll be able to go through that later and potentially get some stuff that might help you. But
Kel
as you
does not say this. I want to clarify this. This is not the thing. But I just think it's funny. Oh, good, you found trash.
Oh, good, you found trash. I'm so glad. As you sneak closer to this sort of valley, you start to hear the calls and the running of creatures. Ducking into a bush, they pass you by once, a little closer, twice, 3 times. As you sneak and sneak and sneak, and manage to get all the way into the valley without tripping any patrols, without being found. There's a moment where a creature, 2-legged but furry and wrong, something about the head shape not being quite human or wolven, something bestial stops in your path and sniffs the air, looking around and growling before putting its head down and moving on. As you
May's like,
slip.
Isle taught me this one. Sup?
Sup, Tom?
Sup?
As you slip unmolested into this valley, May, the moment you get here, because you saw it from above, you are like, okay, this is a flat plain, there's a bunch of trees and like bushes and rocks and shit. I would normally be like, okay, that corner is a really good dig site. That little area right there is a really good dig site. I can see the soil isn't too compacted, which means there is something underneath of it. You're like, I don't know what is here. Definitely something. There were buildings here. There was something here.
May turns Cat on. Even if she's going to be here for other reasons, she is coming away with this for material for research later.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think with stealth, May is like narrating her thoughts to Kat just very quietly, like, and then we can see that this over here.
She's doing a David Attenborough.
Yeah.
So the soil isn't too compacted. We can see, and here we can actually see that the ground slumps down and is very wet. So we're thinking most likely there was an underground chamber here, maybe a basement that has collapsed. Make sure to note that for future dig. Kat like tags it in in the recording. As you get here, May kind of recognizes this as like a plaza or like processional that seems to be pointed as it gets like narrows right towards the mountain. Mountains change and move over time. You don't know where the door is. There is a door here, and you know that if you search for it, you will find it with that 27.
Okay. May is going to, starting at the narrow end pointing towards the mountain, very slowly start walking back and forth, like mentally gridding the area and pouring her consciousness into her tremor sense to try and find something.
You're getting nothing at first. Clearly, this is not a very honeycombed area. There's one large pathway forward, and then you feel sort of at the edge of your sense a hollowness of a large hallway, and you backtrace that. You go up and down just that part of the mountain between that and the plaza, and you start to see evidence of, you grab a rock and turn it over, and you can see that while it looks natural and broken on one side, the other comes to a worked corner as if made with chisels. You can see signs, big picture of a human touch here, and you reach a a tumble of rocks that a lot of like large boulders, clearly like a landslide at some point. It's not, it won't take you down at like floor level. You'll have to go down a little bit because floor level is a little bit buried. You think this is your best way in.
Okay, cool. May points that to the others and is like, I'm going to start digging. And is going to start mold earthing as quietly as she can. And as
Okay.
carefully as she can.
Unless you tell them to like not help because you can do it like more efficiently and quieter, I think both Henry and Oscar are the type of people to be like, see somebody working and be like, okay, and then they'll like grab some rocks and like shift them themselves. Just
if I
manually.
can, I imagine like they start doing that and they immediately is like, no, stop.
There's a process to this. You almost took
We
out
have
a
to
boulder
close
that was
the
holding up 5 others. That's a problem.
Put it down. Claudius, can you do something like can you supervise them? This is finicky work.
Henry, it's very important when May is doing her May thing to let May do her May thing, because May gets a little upset when she doesn't get to do her May thing, and also she's pretty good at her May thing, so we gotta let her do her May thing.
Cal is
Also, I
so
don't know
used
what
to
the rocks
being
like.
being like, Kakano, find me the best rock. So she's like, how's Kakano find the best
Yes.
rock?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm outside. I was grabbing my laundry real quick. Here,
Oh,
I'll do a
sorry.
dice roller. No, I can do a dice roller. It's fine.
Okay.
Dice roller D20. I have like what, a +3 to persuasion?
You have a +2.
It's a
Can
12.
I argue? I want to
Oh,
argue it.
Kakano gives me help because he's like,
No,
yeah, rock.
It's advantage because you're talking to Kekano.
Oh, Kekino's not the one she's convincing.
Oh,
Kekino is
pardon
like,
me.
absolutely, I'm going to find shiny rocks. You're convincing Henry, an adult,
Gotcha.
to be like,
Well,
look for shiny rocks
a
with your
young adult.
new brother.
Wait, I will say, is Kakano giving advantage by being a cute brother, being like, yeah, we're gonna go find rocks?
Yeah, how about
sure.
that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. This is such an important role, we know. Yeah, now it's a 15.
Okay. Henry looks a little confused and concerned. You can tell that he realizes that you're like getting rid of him to a certain extent, but he does keep Kekano company, and he goes off and looks for shiny rocks with him. I think for the first time you really see like a much older sibling, much younger sibling like interaction between them, as Henry's like, what do you think about this one?
Ooh, that's nice. It's got like an egg shape.
Yeah, sure. I like the blue color.
Oh yeah, no, blue's one of my favorites.
What's your actual favorite? I like all colors. Okay, so sure.
We have to like
Oh.
green. Dad's favorite is green. Our
favorite is
family
green.
color.
Oscar is just genuinely like, you know, okay, you don't have to twist my arm to tell me to fuck off. He doesn't go and hunt rocks, but he just kind of like steps off to the side and looks. If Oscar is the type of man that I am, and like many male people I have met, of being like, watching someone else do work and know that you're not allowed to help like hurts you to a certain extent.
Is it a little bit of like old men gathering with their hands behind their backs?
Exactly. Not how I would have done it, but all right.
I see you did that rock there, and it's like, I sure did.
Yes. No. Oscar is watching and is just like putting his hands behind his back to keep himself from like trying to help as May uncovers the entryway. It does mean kind of Cal
I'm a big
and Oscar
fan of
are
Howard
free.
Carter, by the way.
You remind me of him, but less good. you accomplished anything? Like finding King Tut? You should learn some pointers. He's still alive? Is he a magic man?
The remnant in May's head is like, kill him. Just drop a rock on him. No one would know.
It's Oscar suddenly has the personality of an 80-year-old boomer, just being like, "You're good at
It just
digging.
comes
Have you ever
upon him."
tried archaeology? I bet they could pay good money for women to dig."
Have you considered going in there and dropping off your resume?
I think if I only know Howard Carter. I know he's dead, so I don't really know who the big up and coming archaeologist is now. But I think if you go in there with your resume and a firm handshake, you'll be running that dig site in no time. Yes, as Cal and Oscar is free if we want to have a little moment. I think Oscar just kind of leans over and goes, "Thank you for doing what you did to save Henry. I
Oh,
appreciate it. I know it was dangerous."
You're welcome. I owed Fish a favor.
Well, Fish deals in a lot of favors, so I know how that goes.
Cal, who was just straight up bullshitting, is like,
Yeah.
She
Fish must
she
have,
takes. Yeah, no, she's still listening. She's taking rocks from Kekano whenever, being like,
Yeah.
yeah. The good
She's
one she
pretending
puts in the
in her pocket, and as soon as he turns around, like chucks it into the
Yeah, I was
woods.
gonna say, what's the
Because
good one
otherwise,
about
she's
it?
just accumulating rocks.
The drowned Kekano.
Oscar is just like, it seems like Fish has really settled down. If there are friends that are willing to do
May
things like that
snorts.
for them.
May
Yeah.
snorts and settle down.
Cal exhales and says, I've known Fish for about 2 years for at this point, though most of that was mainly interacting with Kekano as Fish's proxy.
What is Kekano, by the way? I've always been curious.
Are you familiar with the magical concept of a familiar?
No.
Well, I'm educated. She goes,
I am not a
and...
magic person, to be clear.
Oh,
I
have
guess.
you read a book?
Yeah, not. Do you have a degree in accounting? Uneducated.
Not yet.
May says, Oscar, don't
What do you do in public accounting for
increasing.
livestock sales?
May is like,
So-
don't worry, Oscar. Colliginus is ever doubtful of other people's ability to read. Jokingly.
Somewhere Center goes, ow.
She's very clearly joking there. She's not trying to be.
It's like my chest just hurt for a moment. I don't know why. Like someone said something really cutting. Reminded me of past emotional pain.
Yeah, Cal is like, yes, whatever. I understand. So, didn't intend to offend. I just thought it was common enough in literature. It's the concept of having a animal companion made of magic that reflects your inner being and stuff like that. Kekano and Fish share a soul, but what Kekano manifests is maybe not the part of Fish's personality we are quite used to. The way, yeah, the way they have defined their relationship is father and son, but in many ways they are the same person.
That is part of Fish?
This is a really good one, Henry. This is a good one that you picked out. I like the little like veins of the shiny things in him.
Huh. That is
Unbelievable? Yes, I'm very aware.
not unbelievable, but pretty incredible.
Cut to
Fish.
like 23 years earlier. Oscar, look, I found this cool rock.
Yeah, that's cool. Look at the shiny strips in it.
Except what Fish did, it was like, yeet, and hit somebody in the head.
Yeah, flies true. I don't know if Fish has a heart of gold, maybe a heart of silver, but it's just it's buried deep, 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 deep inside. So see it so out in the open that is that's good.
I mean, one of my theories is that it all went to Kekuno and it's all gone from Fish.
You should tell them that. I'm sure they'll take that very well.
What are we talking about? Do you want to see this rock we found?
Of course.
As you are laughing, May finally reaches a point where instead of pulling, she is pushing. She puts a foot on a boulder and pushes it inside as it slides down a rock slide into the inner chamber, and light comes out. When you were in the ruins, when you were in your ruins that you were studying, everything was off until it was activated by something else. Jonas turning it on, Fish unlocking the gate on the way in. This ruin is on. It is active. You can essentially see the lights on. The little bit of like unchipped, carvings you can see are flowing with magic.
May has a Rourke from Atlantis and literally says to herself, "Win," and starts climbing in.
I love it when I win.
Yeah. It's the first thing I thought of, except they were going up and she's going down.
As you call in the others, and they slip and slide in, you see you are in a.
It's a slip and slide.
Yeah, it's you thought you were digging and maybe going down like maybe 10 feet to get to the floor. The actual slope is more like 30 feet. It is a huge arched entryway hallway with carvings that are flowing with magic but are clearly not language. They're just decorative.
Maybe still.
Yeah, recording everything. Recording everything. Get that.
She's
they are
like me and the dead mole.
yes. Yeah, there's just footage of May running back and forth. A lot of this area is damaged. You find it almost entirely pristine, pretty close in. And that's why you notice something really weird. First things first, I need everyone to make your choice Constitution or Wisdom saving throw.
So
The DC is 3.
Oh.
For May, it is 2.
Oh.
For Oscar, no, not for Oscar. For Henry, it is 4.
You said Constitution or Dex?
Constitution or Wisdom.
Oh, Wisdom. Well, one of those is much better.
Wisdom for me. Yeah, I think May's alright. So 14.
Sorry, I was wrong. I just checked my notes. Constitution or Charisma is what I wrote down.
That's not too bad. 12.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. As you step in, May is immediately taken with everything that's happening, leaving Cal in sort of the default, like, I guess I'm now supervising the others while May runs off into Chuck E. Cheese position, which means you see you see Oscar looking around, big eyes, very curious. What the
Cal goes,
fuck
"Don't
is
touch!"
this? What's happening?
Don't touch
Definitely
it.
stop him
I'm not going to
from touching
explain
something.
any of this to you.
Yeah. And Kekano goes, Henry, are you okay? And you turn and see that Henry looks like green. Henry looks like he's going to be sick.
Ooh.
Cal will go, "Oh, are you not good with being underground?"
No, sorry. It's something just you can't feel that. It feels so wrong.
No, I can't. I'm gonna do an Arcana check. Did we? I can't. We didn't give Cal detect magic yet, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Was there? Did we give her Eldritch Sight when we did her Neoteric level up?
No, you decided to do Devil's Sight instead, which is the one that lets you see through your own spells.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
okay,
cool.
okay.
Um, you were like that is close enough to be thematically similar while still being more useful for how Cal operates.
Yeah.
Which does mean that Cal has dark vision now.
Oh, yay!
yeah.
Dream team.
I thought it was just dark vision for darkness.
No, you if you have Devil's Sight, you have dark vision plus. You actually have a stronger version of dark vision than what
That's
May has.
so fucking funny. So May's like, "Oh, you guys can't see what's happening," and Cal's like, "No."
It's like you see exactly
her
what's
feel
happening. I just don't
special.
know what you're describing. Yeah, Henry looks really ill. Give me an Arcana check, and at the same time, May is noticing something really interesting about the carvings. I want her to either give me
Fuck.
an Arcana
It
or symbols
translates
check.
to "fuck Henry" in particular.
Fuck Henry in particular. That's written above the entrance. We don't know who Henry is. We know he's gonna come in here at some point. Fuck him in particular.
Okay,
So
so
this
that
is
was
really funny.
Oh, do you have a funny? I have a funny.
We'll have a funny together.
Yeah, who should go first?
So that wasn't that one, but with my symbol check, that was up to a 9.
I have a different kind of funny because that was a nat 20 for a 31.
The two funnies, love it.
Patrick's like, "Yeah, give me an Arcana check," and the universe goes,
Thank
Um,
God May's recording. This place is all us.
May has gotten tunnel vision to a certain extent as
Mm.
you are walking through
Yeah.
this tunnel into the ruin. She is focusing so much on these carvings and what they can mean. She's noticed there's something different about them. There is a almost like a crosshatch pattern over the entirety of the walls. Like there are two separate layers of symbols. She is recording it and describing it in great detail as she moves forward, which means she is not looking at the big picture. Cal sees.
Can I be smart first or potentially be
Yeah.
smart?
Mhm.
Is this, because Thank God can reminds me, is this at all related to like how Kitsune and Fish could open the doors in the other ruins?
Cal doesn't know anything about that, but Mooney figuring out is very funny and interesting. The Root Warden's ruins, that was essentially a security system that was not designed for Godkin, but Godkin were close enough to what it was designed for that it
Oh, yeah.
allowed them to enter into. This one has not had like a security system so far that you've seen. There's been no like sealed doors. You just kind of came in here, which implies a more public space instead of like a secret base. But that is interesting. Maybe there is something else with that going forward.
Okay.
With that Arcana check, Henry looks really sick. You ask him if he's okay with being underground, and he seems confused. And he's like, "Yeah, that's hasn't really been a problem before. I've been in some small spaces." Um, Cal realizes as she's focusing in um, on what is affecting Henry, she stretches out magically just a little bit and feels something at kind of the edge of her senses, something that seems to be affecting Henry more severely. But Cal can kind of tell what it is. Something wrong. As Cal is someone who spent a lot of time with dead bodies, she is very, very familiar with all the various forms of rot and decay. This feels like rot and decay, but not biological. You're not smelling it. You're not feeling the squish of flesh giving under your fingers. It feels like what you feel like when you smell a body that has been rotting alone in water for a long time. And as May hyper-focused on these carvings at the wall going forward, misses, but Cal does not. As you go forward and this sense seems to get stronger, more uncomfortable, you see May still in the hallway with you. There is a section of broken off facade, so obviously she wants to try and put as much as the pieces as obviously go together back together so she can get a recording of it so that she doesn't have an interrupted viewpoint of this. Cal is the only one looking ahead, so she sees when the hallway opens up into a large atrium with a lectern in the middle. And in polished brass, 20 feet across, a large circle, barely touching a smaller circle. The ancients were not always rebels, were not always leaders. They were at a time slaves. This is not a ruin of the ancients, per se. This is a ruin of the faceless ones. You are feeling the effect of the faceless ones. What a creature from beyond reality would do, rotting reality with its very presence. And as May, I think, excitedly turns back to you and says, so this cross-hatching design is really interesting. It seems to be a magical effect above the decorations that is sort of like holding this area together magically. That's one of the reasons why it's so well preserved. It's sort of like a defense against some sort of anti-magic decay or something like that. I think Cal just kind of points.
I thought you were gonna say at first that it was like, I don't know, the like fish's magic being like surgically removed or like flayed, and I was just imagining fish going, ah, I'm being flayed alive. Yes. May's like, this is so cool.
This is so neat. This is a place that has been reinforced such that a faceless one could have at one point been in residence without reality collapsing in on itself. And as you see the symbol, you realize you have seen a lot of spider-webbed cracks under this protection, as if not just the stone, but the existence of the stone and the magic itself underneath it was being eaten away at.
Does May have any knowledge of what these, like, the faceless ancient temples are like? opportunity. for her.
You have definitely seen you've definitely seen very small versions of this. You have found oh, here's a stone wall that had a symbol of the Faceless Ones in it, and you're like, okay, this was like a local current theory is this was a local outpost. Maybe this is where this the servants of the Faceless Ones collect taxes or tributes or something in this area. maybe it was a temple or
An identity of
place of
evil.
worship or something, and then you're like, oh, this is the big deal. This is the
Yeah.
thing. You have seen evidence of what is a. You have seen the equivalent of a hobnailed sandal, and you were like, this was a Roman outpost that soldiers lived in. You are now in Rome.
Yeah. So with the brass circle, sorry, so that was on the wall or on the floor? I didn't
It's on
hear
the
that
wall.
part. Okay.
Very prominently displayed with a lot of carvings around it, and those do look like language.
May's got the beginnings of an idea in her head. Can she examine the language around the brass plates?
Yep.
Simultaneously, while she's
Don't
coming
go
up with
insane.
that, yeah, Kyle's gonna be like, "Do you have a way to, I don't know, carve some, or that we could draw something onto fabric that could act as maybe a mask or guard of this? Is this whatever this is? Is there a magic circle we need to recreate? I feel well, but I understand why this is affecting Henry so badly."
Patrick, can
Mhm.
May, thinking back to when she came up with the symbols in the Death Realm, is there anything she can extrapolate from that could ease his discomfort? Because I think May is instinctively I think this is a bit beyond my power, but try to at least minimize Henry's discomfort a bit.
I think you could do something stationary. You could carve a circle on the ground that would essentially create a safe place from this effect. You do realize that there's a lectern here. There is human-sized, what would have been stone benches, although they're destroyed now with age. This was a place in which humans or ancients interacted with the power of the Faceless Ones. So you don't think it is necessarily I'm going to read this and instantly go insane. But on the other hand, people who worshipped the Faceless Ones may have built up a little bit of immunity just from close contact over time. And you have no idea what protections the ancients had. So this is kind of a thing of I don't think you need to put on the hazmat suit, but thinking back and remembering to make
Yeah,
one
Henry's
might be
our
smart.
canary here.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Henry's your canary. Yes,
Okay. I guess can I
Henry
roll a
will
symbol check?
remind you has true sight, can see beyond the reality
Of course,
things,
yeah. Forgot about
which
that.
means he is seeing a version of this room that is probably 2%
Mounted.
in the realm of the Faceless Ones, a realm beyond human imagining and sanity, and therefore it's only gonna get worse for Henry. You're all gonna suffer, and you think I think May passed that check without too much difficulty, and maybe there's something in that you want to interrogate a
But
little
there'll be
bit.
more. Yeah.
Henry is absolutely the canary about you're all gonna be struggling. He's immediately going to be struggling much worse.
Okay. Can May do a symbol check to draw up some sort of circle of safety? Maybe we'll just have to do it in each room as we move forward, potentially. I guess.
Yeah, you can try and make a safe place. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, can May get advantage if Cal helps? Cal has.
Sorry, you're cutting out. What is your argument?
So Cal has the sanctuary spell, right? Even if she's not putting spell points in, Cal has
Okay. She
relevant.
understands how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A magical
I
sanctuary is not a
think-
foreign concept to either, but especially not. to
Yes. Yes. I think that is balanced out by the fact that you are dealing with essentially an unknown threat in a way. You've never had to deal with like faceless corruption. So I will say, rather than giving you advantage, I will lower the DC. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A dirty 20. Thank God for that.
You realize that this net, this ancient's technology to like preserve the very foundations of reality within this place, you can sort of borrow from the work that's been done before and incorporate that into a protective circle similar to the one you had in the Death Realm. And you are able to, over some minutes of work, create a small sanctuary. And when Henry steps inside, instantly seems to feel better. His color gets better. He's not breathing as hard.
Maybe it's in the thermos. I know good for it.
Yeah, May gives him the thermos and goes, "Oh, thanks. What is this?"
Depends. Good luck. Standing back.
Oh, sorry. That tea is just really bitter. Oh,
it's probably still good for him though, right? Bit liquid.
it's a hot beverage, which he is focusing on instead of his discomfort. Yeah, I don't think Henry is ecstatic like Morty is, but yes, it's definitely his comfort.
So earlier you mentioned, should maybe in the circle when she reads the language.
You are not sure it would help. Essentially, like the circle is about like separating yourself from the energy of this place. You know that when the symbols are on, when there is power flowing through it, ancient language is not just language. The level of like understanding from just reading it is very minimal, even for an expert like yourself. When it's properly powered on, it gives you visions, it gives you sensations, it gives you memories, it imparts meaning. There is this thing about like the circle is being disconnected and therefore protected. The reading is being connected and hoped that they didn't plug you into the insanity drive.
Okay, May is going to turn to Cal, and she says, I need to read what that says, but it may have deleterious effects. If you get the sense that something's going wrong, pull me away from it. Because May has to touch it, right? To get the full effect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because in May's mind...
I was going to say, Cal gets rope, which I'm sure May just has on
has rope.
And ties it around May's waist and gives the other part, the end of the rope to Oscar.
And then May says,
Oscar's like, I've done this before.
I think Oscar is like instantly, you get it. He wraps it around himself, ties a hitch that he can quick release, and then just like steps into the circle with Henry and like leans back into it like he's ready for you to bolt. Very comfortable.
Yeah. So in May's head, the moment she saw this was a faceless temple, she is concerned that Jonas is here to potentially find out some way to interface with the faceless realm in some way, right? Because Patrick literally said slightly. So May is like, I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with this place. Because obviously we're beginning the May turns against Jonas arc very slowly. And I think this is a real flicker of a moment of like fuck for her. And she lays her hand upon the symbol and braces. Still recording!
Very important.
Very important. Screen capping.
As you
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to insert some levity into this moment. Do you think that non-magic modern AU May would be an urban explorer?
Yes.
Oh, we talk
Yeah.
about her being a spelunker
100%.
all the fucking time, and everybody's like, May, don't do that.
About you know that meme about like cave divers being infected by some
Yep.
like entity? Yeah.
Yeah.
May would have that.
She was in the
It would be that.
descent. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Alright, tell
No,
me what it
May
says.
would absolutely like finish a spelunking mission in like a cave pathway that nobody has done before because they thought it was way too dangerous, and find an old carved skull that is like so much deeper than they thought any human being before had gone, and everybody's like, "That's a cursed object. You should
I
get
just
rid of
think
it."
it's neat.
May is the white woman, and like any of like people of color she's friends with are like, I don't know why the fuck you did that.
Yeah.
Then as you approach,
Oscar, stop trying to stage my house.
yeah. As you approach, you can get a good look at sort of these symbols and the layout of it before you touch it. I don't think you need a perception check because your natural
Right
perception
now.
is so high. The first thing you see is that in the larger brass circle, the one representing the faceless ones, there is, from a distance, it just looks like discoloration. As you get closer, you realize there is something like a rudimentary lens in the middle, as if someone on perhaps the other side of the wall could look out onto the
Or the
congregation,
other side of the universe,
Or-
perhaps.
or maybe focus energies from somewhere else onto the congregation. You also see the carvings, which you can read, although it doesn't give you tons of information, which is essentially that it says Temple of, and then the Faceless One's symbol, ruled on their behalf by, and then it has a regnal figure of an ancient. The ancients look very reminiscent of like ancient Egyptian carvings of like Ra or something like that, like a figure holding something, ruled by ancient, constructed by ancient. And the second ancient, something is wrong. Somebody clearly took a set of chisels and tried to destroy this name from the wall, and it did not work because all of the stone around it is destroyed and the name of the ancient is perfectly intact.
Whack.
As you reach up and touch the symbol, you are transported into this realm of understanding of what the mural imparts. You feel so small and insignificant. You are a mote of dust in an uncaring universe, and there is something so much larger than you looking down, not caring whether you exist, not even recognizing that you are a thing that could exist. This is the temple of, and then a buzzing in your mind, not something you could ever articulate to another person, but clearly a name of a specific faceless one, or maybe a faction or an empire. How do you know the unknowable? But something specific, something you know you would recognize again if you felt it, but not something you could ever explain or describe. You feel the sun grow cold as heat disappears from your world. as the Faceless Ones reign supreme over this, the Darklands. You feel awe and worship and fear. And then you get to the names. Two ancients that built this place, that governed, as the Faceless Ones cannot interact with reality enough, perhaps, to govern. The second name, the one that was someone tried to destroy, you find yourself in the same way that the Root Warden, you saw the roots, the conspiracy, the treachery, the resistance against the Faceless Ones spreading across the world, feelings of spreading and protection. This one, you feel dry rooms full of old parchment and writings, sitting for long periods of time, gaining new knowledge, new magic discovered. This is the Illuminant, the name you found in the documents of the house. Perhaps the ancient that founded the house in a way so long ago. And the other name, as you reach out, this Prime Administrator, the undestroyed name, the one that ruled this place on the Faceless One's behalf. You expect something. You are in some way, just like the Root Warden and the Illuminate, expecting this information to come to you, expecting that to be there. And it isn't. In the same way that you go to step on a stair that isn't actually there, that feeling of falling, it is not a stair you missed. It is an edge. It is a pit. As you go for the meaning of this ancient's name and find absolutely nothing, as you fall into infinite nothingness forever, disappearing into your own mind. I need May to roll a D100 and a D10.
$27.
27. Okay. And what was the D10?
20.
D10, you can only roll up to 10.
Oh, no, sorry. So the D100 was a 20, and the D10 was 7.
Oh,
So
the
27.
okay. No, it is separate. It's two separate rolls.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
So the 20
Let me do
for
that again.
the 20 for the D100.
That's a 27. No, so when I did the D100, that was a 27. Let D10 now as its own thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was not the D10. That was the D100. 7
These are the
for
effects.
separate.
This is what it does to you. The name.
As others from the outside watch Oscar braced against this rope, Cal, looking ready to kind of jump in, push May out of the way, and get her back. You see May collapse to the ground like a puppet with her strings cut, and starts screaming so loudly and so fiercely you can see bloody spittle that she's choking on as she shreds her own throat. You are infected with short-term madness. For the next 7 minutes, the character
that's
becomes incapacitated and spends the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping.
Quick, someone cast silence on me!
Hi, hun. What's up?
This is just what happened to Spin. Sorry.
Have you seen the angel? Yeah.
Leaning on something with a rough texture. It's okay. Yeah, that's
Patrick,
you 'cause you're
sorry.
standing, so you're irritated.
Patrick, so see, I just want to double check something. So the one that's caused May the madness, like the unknown angel, that's the one who built the temple, and the Illuminant is the one who built it. Was that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it seems like perhaps the Illuminant fell out with the worshippers of the Faceless Ones,
Okay.
or something like that. Something caused someone to try to destroy his name and fail, as
It was
if
brief.
as if perhaps the person who built the temple made sure that as long as the temple stood, their name would continue to be attached to it. As if someone who could create a net that reinforced the reality of a physical space could also associate the carving of their name with the reality of a place existing.
Okay.
But yes,
so
it
some
is
sort of
the-
reality power.
It is the one who is nothingness that you are spiraling into darkness. What do the others do as May is experiencing this? How's everybody else doing?
Whoa!
I think Oscar was like braced for something to happen, and so instinctively like pulls on the rope. So May like falls and then slides across the ground a little bit, still screaming.
Fully give you permission to gag her because I do not want us to get caught, and she would want you guys to do the same thing if she knew what was going on.
Right, yeah. We don't have any silent spells among us, right?
Fish isn't here.
She
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Patrick, hang on. May can cast Calm Moods on herself as a bonus action.
Is she good enough to do that?
I don't know. Accept me.
So here's the question.
Okay.
Calm Moods does work. Calm Moods
Okay.
does get you out of this. Does May have the like emotional fortitude to get her body to cast magic while she is like not there?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm just saying, like she.
I think we can do a roll about it.
Yeah, sure. 'Cause I'm
Give
just-
me a charisma check. We'll say the DC is 17.
I don't think I'm gonna get
I
it.
don't
but
know if
let's
this
see.
was disadvantage or advantage, but 100% Cal immediately slaps her.
Does make an advantage, Patrick?
No, because if you had rolled a 20 or under, the effect would end when you take damage. But with a 27, it does not.
Oh,
Oh, you
Did
got
you
a
say
different
that?
madness effect. I think Cal is
doesn't pass.
concerned because when she slaps May, the muscles in May's neck are so tight, it feels like hitting a rock wall.
yeah. Mainly got a knife.
It's like,
so
"Mix
nobody
it
can
out of
use
it." Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh. Yeah, Cal takes out like her handkerchief and like gags May's mouth and like make sure her like tongue is in the right place so she
Mm.
won't like
Thank
bite
you.
it and
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
As you sit,
Is there any
and watch-
resistance when she's doing that?
you have to force her jaw open to get
That's a rictus.
to get it in because she is like locked up. But as she as you gag her and try to get her into like the recovery position, and it almost looks like she starts to seize for a little bit. May, in this infinite nothingness, you start to feel a hand on yours. Unbeknownst to you, Cal is probably keeping you from trying to scratch your own face off, but it feels like a comfort. And in that comfort, you feel a thread. A small piece of connection running to something that In the nothingness, you don't recognize it first, but then you start to remember Cal. And through Cal, you can see it disappearing into the distance to someone else.
I thought you were going to say Jonas for a second. To be honest, I was like,
Jonas walks into your vision and is like, hey,
"Yo,
snap out of it. This is weak shit.
No, instead it's Fish walking into her vision and going, so I hear you're suffering too.
Yeah.
Twins.
May, I'm here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
Patrick, can May follow the thread? Or is that out of her ability at this moment in time?
You find a way to grab it, and you yank, and slowly pull yourself back into your body, pull back into reality, and find yourself choking on a handkerchief and blood as you come back to yourself. The one thing that echoes in your mind, the first salient thought, the first thing you are capable of thinking that is not animalistic survival is that was not a ancient that does not have a name. It's an
was a
ancient that
faceless one.
should. No.
No? Okay.
It's an ancient that should have a name. That's reality is founded on having a name and does not.
Can I name the ancient if that's okay?
Yes.
I think May instinctively names it as the Forgotten One. Or just the Forgotten if we're going by Reedward being just one thing.
I think a more appropriate
Magos.
name would be
Huh?
the
Gregory.
Nameless.
The Nameless? Okay.
Are you forgetting some lore?
Remembering some more, it looks like.
Abyssinia's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Nicholas Boss.
I would have had to carry that absorb.
May's like, that's some phase 2
Unfortunately.
bullshit. I don't care.
Yeah, that's some weird religious thing. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, the Forgotten One.
The Nameless, I like that. Okay. Good lord.
It's always so funny. Me and Ink are like, oh yeah, that little bit of lore, and Ellie's like,
That's phase 2,
I'm running
guys.
through sessions in my mind.
Like, what is something Patrick has mentioned? No? No, maybe it's a cool name.
Yeah.
No, it's some damn Derek Landy bullshit.
Yeah.
Derek Landy bullshit. I think May looks up with a lot of instinctual fear and tries to memorize what that name of the ancient looks like physically so that she is never caught in that trap again.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, so, by the way, with her shredding her vocal cords, can she actually physically talk?
Very quietly.
Very quietly. Okay, cool.
It definitely hurts to talk.
You come to like Cal mopping your forehead and like trying to like check your pulse, and Kakano on your chest going, May,
May, May.
Lance!
So does May abruptly come back to it, Patrick? Like she's suddenly...
Yes, I think you wake up still screaming and like stop it as like a conscious effort.
I think she's probably just breathing heavy and like being like, holy fucking shit about it.
All right.
Maybe like desperately clutching onto Cal's hand.
Yeah, Cal is like, May, you're back.
Manages a nod, tries to speak before she remembers the gag in her mouth and kind of like makes some very quiet grunting noise
Yeah.
when she realizes her throat hurts.
Yeah, Cal removes the gag and is immediately like, nobody touch anything at all. You can touch the floor with your feet. I know you were going to ask that, Kakano.
Okay, good. I'm on the floor, so it's very difficult to not touch the floor unless somebody is carrying me, and if they're carrying me, then they're touching the floor. So I just wanted to be sure. May, are you okay? You got a little something on your chin.
Smears blood all over, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like blood and saliva.
Yeah. May's like, I'm okay, Gekino. Maybe don't touch any symbols if I haven't passed them first. May's going to sit up and maybe look at Henry and like read.
Yeah, Henry is extremely concerned and confused by what happened, and I think as you like make eye contact with him, you can see a like small trail of blood leak out of one eye that he wipes away, as like just witnessing you made him experience like the edges of what happened to you.
Cool.
Yeah. As May starts to recover, I think we'll
Gives
check
her her
in
own
on
thermos.
how Fish is doing. Gives her her own thermos.
Yeah.
Instantly gets instantly in her addled state gets the wrong drink for the first time in like a year.
And I think has a brief moment of like wanting to laugh about that with Sinner before remembering that he's not here.
Mhm.
Cal gets on Sending Stone. Hey, Sinner, I have a cool casual update.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, so
Um,
May just overdosed, but
Yeah. Yes, we had to use Narcan on May. We're taking her to the hospital.
Sinner, I
Um,
know this isn't gonna ever work on you, but I do need to start this call with "Don't freak out."
yeah, just legally.
I think once May is able to like actually think things through, she will find it interesting that clearly there is some sort of protection on the name of this faceless
Oh,
one
yeah.
to keep people reading it from being insane. Whatever whatever happened with the name of the faceless is long after that, when there was nobody to like put new protection on it.
Right.
And while May is recovering and getting her breath back, and people are now looking at this ruin with perhaps a little more trepidation, May especially, I think we're going to check in on how Fish is doing. As Fish is strapped to a stone table surrounded by creatures, the abomination leaning over you, gathering up scalpels and other very sharp looking equipment.
How long have we been
You-
at this?
We are actually going back in time
Oh, okay.
slightly. You
And they
have
still
been
have jerks.
Yeah, you have been on this table for about probably like 5 minutes with a conversation with Jonas, and then you telling him to fuck off. And Jonas says, "Well, if you don't want to be under my protection anymore, you're not under my protection anymore. Have fun with the abomination." Um, um, as the abomination steps up and starts to rest a scalpel against your eyelid.
Yeah, so making it canon in the recording, Fish baits Jonas every so often, just being like, wait, come back.
No, I don't need anything. Wait,
No, I'll
wait,
make a
Jonas.
deal with you. I'll do whatever you like. Fuck off.
I'll make a deal with you. Can I get a medium burger, medium fries, a Dr. Pepper? That's important.
No,
If they
not
don't have Dr. Pepper,
large.
I don't want Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, get me a Brad's drink. Stat.
As the abomination starts to attempt
Wait,
to
wait,
go
Jonas,
to
come
work
back.
on you.
Wait. My dad loves me, actually. So, like, what are you talking about? You know, my creators that hate me.
Jonas, because it's probably the first time that you're baiting him, Jonas responds with, just because you have a father that loves you doesn't mean you are a father who loves.
And you are.
I think I recognize that. I don't love my children either.
What am I thinking of? But like, you know, when someone awful says we and you're like, what?
Yeah. There's that moment of like, oh my god. Wait, no, I'm pushing back on that. Don't lump me in with you. For a
Yeah.
second, I was totally bought in, but no. What's this we shit?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Sorry, go on.
As you start to struggle against the restraints, and you feel the first coldness around your eyes. It's not pain. Pain requires a blade not sharp enough for this work. You just feel coldness, and then wetness runs down your face. You say anything? You're muted.
Sorry. Fish, I assume, gets regagged every time. Because they're just screaming now.
Do you try to communicate through the screams at all? Even just like, wait, wait, wait.
Uh I think Fish calls out for their dad. Just sadly, in a very. I'm so sorry for saying this, but in a very Jesus on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?
hmm
That's it.
As you call out, the abomination pauses. It's been speaking not to you but to its assistants. Clicks and gruntings and the soft movement of like skin on skin. It sounds to you as someone who heard, a decent amount of Cantonese when you were visiting, vaguely sort of kind of related to maybe a Chinese language. Like maybe it was a Chinese language so long ago that now, maybe even lacking a mouth, it has transformed into something else. But one of the assistants, a flesh golem, this sort of Frankenstein-like figure, hairless, genderless, 7-foot construct of kind of pinkish stitched together skin.
I was gonna say same
Approaches.
until you said 7 foot.
Approaches with a little charm that it holds out above you and the abomination. And as the charm translates, "What do you speak?"
Um, uh, just okay, garbled nonsense of just like, why is this happening? And then also like, what did you even trying to like? What's the point? What is the purpose of this? Why?
Sorry, I'm just saying what Mooney posted.
Yeah.
Um, Uh, for a moment, the hand with the scalpel pulls away, and another hand that comes up, 3 fingers each. The finger itself very short, but a claw, a needle-like claw, incredibly long, comes up and cups your chin for a second. I will make you perfect. Such
What does that
good-
look like?
Such good starting material. Meat made by the gods.
And what is the end goal here? Like, to be like you? All hands?
To be everything, always immortal and perfect. Do you not desire perfection?
Yeah. Not like you, but mine's different from your one.
Perfection is perfection. There cannot be disagreements in perfection. Thank you. I will treat your meat well.
Um, and Fish has to go for a threat. I won't do the same for you when I'm tearing you to pieces.
The flesh golems step forward slightly as if to like protect their master from the threat.
And Fish
And
then goes, I'm strapped to the table.
like 3 extra hands come out of the cloak and like hold up to gesture them back, and says, "It talks to defend itself. I will take its voice and it will talk no more. Soon you will be part of me, part of us, close to perfection."
You'll never get there.
We shall see. And starts to cut. There was something that you shared with me you were going to try to do. As the blade slips in deeper, I think you feel like this may be your last moment to do it before
Mhm.
the pain becomes too much.
Yep. I forgot what it was.
You want me to remind you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh. Of course. All right, will I make a roll for that with disadvantage, maybe, because it's strapped to the table?
No, the actual plan is you asked me, does the table count as a solid object for Blink?
Oh, thank
No.
you. Yes,
Yes,
does the table?
Okay, I still had that queued up, so I was like, yeah, that's funny.
No, that is funny. I like that a lot. Yeah, I am smart off screen. I'd like to try a blink.
All right. Let's do it.
Come on, fishes die.
Come on, fishes die.
Piss. On a roll of 11 or higher, you vanish from your current plane of existence and appear in the ethereal plane. That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
You scream, spark with magic. your Eldritch Sight activates for a split second, but your eyes are so filled with blood that you can only see your own magic, and the cuts go deeper. Blink lasts for I believe a minute, so you can
Yeah.
roll again.
Yeah? No, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the spell points.
No, it lasts for a minute, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it's for the next minute. Every
fuck,
round,
okay.
every
I'll
6
take it.
seconds, you can re-roll.
I'll take it. Mercury's dice. Don't let me down. She did it! She was made to serve. That's an 11 precisely.
All right. As you see nothing but the magic in your own blood, you hit the ground as you have disappeared from your reality into the ethereal plane, and look down, find yourself like impaled, like the pillar of the chair, like going through your stomach as you try to like rub the blood out of your eyes and potentially get away.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, please. I'd like to go. I'd like to leave.
You'd like to no longer be here?
I would like to exit the place.
Time to leave
That
the
I-
function.
Yes. Just walk out. The skeleton.
All
know
right.
the skeleton?
As you
Bye, bitches!
bye, bitches. As you scrub the blood from your eyes, pull yourself out of the table, and start to make a run for it, you can feel something hitting against your own face, and you think it is perhaps your own cutaway skin still in flaps. Don't
Yuck.
look in a mirror, because you're not sure you have skin above your eyes anymore. As
I'm gonna have to get all my tattoos redone.
they're not gonna be in the same place. You're gonna get healed, and everything's gonna be like slightly shifted. There's a line through one of the tattoos, and you can't quite get it to match up again.
Devastating. Like May can take that and run with it, and aesthetically on her neck, but Fish can't.
Mm-hmm. As you run, give me another d20.
Yep.
We are going to keep rolling to see when you re-exist on this plane of existence. As you see that you have disappeared, the abomination is looking around for you. The flesh golems have all turned to look at the room at large. Where are you? Back in reality?
Because Mercury, she did it for me the one time, and then she remembered, to be consistent to her character, she probably would be working for the abomination. So that's an 8.
Okay. Actually, you return to reality regardless, which means you blink back into existence.
Are they stuck in the
6,
table? Are they
7, 12 hands come out of the cloak and point at you with various strange fingers, devices,
just pointing?
biological
Sucker!
pumps, as
Let's keep running.
as the flesh golems go to chase after you.
No, we're
and
running.
Then, yeah, you're running, and they're running after you. As you try to get out, and with an 8, you do not immediately disappear back onto the ethereal plane. You are running. There is, in the direction you chose, there is one door out of here. Give me a perception check to try and see, turns past that or a way to lose them. But they
Excuse me,
are right behind you.
I believe I rolled a 19 or something in my perception as I was kidnapped, and you said that I could theoretically remember the way out.
You could remember the way out. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
The way you sprinted, because there was essentially there are like 4 doors out of this operating theater. You just ran towards the one that didn't have guys between you and the door, but you are like, okay, if I go here, I need to try and make the first left, and then I need to go south again, and that'll put me back on the track to go out. Like, even
Okay.
if you're not running in the direction of out, you still know how to go that way.
Okay.
But yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception. Why is she doing this to me? 6.
Okay. With your 6, you're like, yeah, I need to get the next left. You pound into the hallway, just flat wall.
Yeah.
Just flat wall, no left turns. The flesh golems are right behind you, and
Hold you fucking hold.
yeah, you are
Oh.
you are running.
Don't have enough spell points for pulse wave. Well, I can at least make this annoying for them. And levitate self.
Is levitate self a bonus action?
It is one action.
Okay, because I'm thinking that you're using a dash action each time to try and like run faster and farther away. If you were like, I don't want to go straight, I want to go up at an angle and I'm a little slower, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah. Sure. Like you can get me, but you have to wait 10 minutes for me to come back down.
All right. Yeah, let me
They scamper up into the corner of the ceiling and do the bit from Hereditary.
You are trying to crawl like a spider across the ceiling as the flesh golems, with using their dash actions, are able to outpace you, and there are now some in front of you and behind you, all underneath you. They can't reach you, but
I know,
they
it's like a spider, so surely they're like, ooh, ooh.
when they reach up, the ceiling is high enough that they can't grab you, and they don't seem to have a lot of jumping ability. They're like trying, and it's not working. But you have like not escaped. You have essentially found a dead
doesn't
end in
matter.
which the dead end is
We're
the
just
ceiling.
doing this.
You're T-posing on them to show dominance.
I
If
mean, like, yeah.
if you're doing float, which is a concentration, then that means you end blink. So we don't roll to see if you disappear into the ethereal plane anymore.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Then as you're floating away, scampering across the ceiling, you look back at the abomination, probably going, haha, fuck you, and you watch hands come out under the robe and skitter and gather magic. Something orange glows in its hand, and the abomination starts to float off the ground as well and come after you. I did just look it up while you were talking, and it does have a somewhat slow, but it does have a fly speed.
Oh fuck, man. Okay. Just make perfection from your point of view. Like, I'll still look cool, right? That's really important to me.
I think all of my creatures look very cool. You look down at like the stitched together Frankensteins, and you're like,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't trust your
if you,
aesthetic sense.
if you can remove something, remove the part of my brain that cares about looking cool.
The abomination goes, honestly, we'll see how much of your brain we keep at all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep me around for like the AI that makes jokes.
Yeah, you are scurrying across the ceiling while the abominations try to cut off potential exits, and the abomination is not like chasing after you fast. Doesn't seem like it wants to chase after you at all. Really, just wants to kind of be there when you get caught. And as you skitter on, you finally find a door you can enter with that 6 perception. It's not in the direction you want, but you probably want to at
Okay,
least
arcane
break
lock it.
line of sight.
Go in
There
there,
is not.
arcane lock.
There is not a door, just a door frame into another room. But hopefully,
Okay.
you can find a existing door and arcane lock it if you
Yes.
stay ahead enough.
Yes, we're scampering.
You scamper in on the ceiling of what?
Perception, it's frankly a miracle.
Yeah.
With the 6 perception, it's frankly a miracle they found the door at all. Oh yeah, it's just blood, you know.
Yeah. As you scamper into what looks like a lab of some kind, and you with a 6 perception, the only thing you notice is a jar with like a little piece of a finger in it, and you go, gross, and then scurry across the ceiling to try to get farther away.
That jar could be a bludgeon, actually. If I can reach the jar, I'm taking it.
The jar is on a table in the middle of the room. You could
Okay, so
try
then
to
fish
float down.
impotently just goes, can't do it.
You can float down and try to grab it. It would put you in range of the flesh golems if you want it.
No.
Okay. Then you move on and try to get the fuck out of there. As we move away from Spiderfish, we now the party, or rather the players, know that Fish is now, loose in the ventilation systems. We will jump back to May regaining consciousness and realizing that she's in a very fucked up place, in a very fucked up situation.
If only we had someone in the party who loves getting things out of ventilation.
Yeah.
The comedy
Yeah, so-
stylings of tortured fish.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so how's May going?
May is not as terrible as she was before, so that's good.
Sweet.
Still kind of has to speak at a very low voice, but at least has some sense of what the dangers are going to be going forward. And you can see that kind of on either side of the chamber, sort of on the same wall that you were reading, is a doorway leading deeper in. Looks like maybe there was you've seen this kind of thing before, where sometimes the ancients aren't using doors; they're using, curtains or something that have long since rotted away. You can only tell by trace evidence something was there. So these are just kind of open doors, and you can see kind of a little bit of a darkness back there, as if there are, either the lights are off or there's no lights. There is some on the other side of that doorway, but it there's a little bit of darkness past it. It doesn't seem as bright in there, I should say.
May slowly sits up and says, "Well, that was quite bracing. I think we should keep going. We'll just have to be very, very careful."
Right, if you feel ready for it, just
No time like the
Less-
present.
try to be your least reckless self, which will make you far more adventurous than all the rest of us combined.
Oh, don't make me laugh, Glitchiness. Come on now. Right.
Just you gotta keep an eye on yourself and make sure that you're checking in with your body. You know.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
you're in charge. You're in charge of May, making sure she doesn't do anything. And if she tries to do anything, you bark and let me know, alright?
Okay, May, you hear that? I'm in charge. We're going to drink water. We're going to make sure that we take adequate breaks. You gotta check in with your body. Listen to what your body's telling you. Your body keeps the score, May.
I'm very aware of
Drama.
what's going on with my body at the moment. Don't worry, Kakino. And stands up and takes the rope from Oscar, taking her time winding it back into its coil, putting it away, and kind of consciously straightens up of like, right, Fish is still in here somewhere. And really, at the end of the day, there will be the papers from this trip. So
I'm gonna get a grant!
I'm gonna get the grant of my fucking life. And yeah, starts walking. And is
All right.
still taking it all in, but with a very healthy dose of caution.
Okay.
Kekino, I don't know if Kekino, she's gonna be like on her shoulder or like in his harness on the leash or something, but she has definitely made sure that they are like marching 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Gekko in his backpack. It's a big backpack.
Yeah.
Hi, cat.
Hey, cat.
Cat is on like one shoulder, Kekno's over the other. As
May's like, be quiet, you'll mess up the recording.
you'll mess up the recording. Don't talk on the recording, Kekno.
I need to be recording the ASMR.
I need to record my haggard breaths.
Yeah, she's mentally recording, not speaking anything aloud, but is very much meditating, not literally, but like thinking over and over about that sensation, and also the significance of the Illuminant and everything else. Is like, fuck, I've stumbled into the treasure trove of... Shame it's full of fucking traps.
Yeah.
Aren't they
May's
all?
like, this is great. This is bad.
Except for the horrors. Everything is great except for the horrors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll be doing her usual thing of like trying to keep track of where they're going and forming a mental map. So shall I do cartography?
Yes, but it is you can do cartography to make sure you're kind of going in the right direction of you sensed fish.
Oh, Patrick, what am I saying? We'll just get Henry to triangulate again.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
there is no necessity to keep track of where you have been so far, because as you check these doors, you see both of them open up into a very large room. There has only sort of been one pathway forward, as this is the main entrance of worshippers and the administrative complex of whatever was happening here with the Faceless Ones.
Okay, so maybe let me rephrase that. May is like all thinking about if we have to exit route
Mm-hmm.
than anything else. But she will use Henry to move like forward. In my mind, he's just a giant ring from House.
You are watching him get sicker as you approach this doorway, and you are starting to feel this sensation on the edge of your perception as you get closer. Do you head through the door, or at least look into the next room?
Yeah, of course.
As you go through, there's only sort of the glowing magical lights just within the doorway. The rest of this cavernous room is in darkness. You can just see the edges of things through the lights here and through the lights on the other side. You can see lights
Sorry.
illuminating.
Even with our dark vision, it's like beyond that.
Let me get to the
Okay,
dark
sorry.
vision thing in just a moment. You can even see lights beyond the darkness, highlighting other doorways, other pathways. This seems like sort of a nexus from where things start to spread. You see with your dark vision, as does Cal, that the ceiling goes up to a point where you no longer can see it. This is a huge hollow within the mountain, just this one room. And with your dark vision, you can see these spiderwebbing cracks that feel wrong through all the stone, through the reality of this place. There is nothing in this room save one thing. In the center of the room, about 10 feet tall, dished slightly in the middle, made of stone, a altar, or perhaps a throne, on which something could rest. Empty now, but so intensely corrupted with the previous presence of a faceless one in its true form that it has rotten reality to a point of fragility. And as you pass through the door, I need everyone to once again make a Constitution or Charisma saving throw. And the DC is going to be higher this time. You are now entering the faceless throne room. The DC is not super high yet. It is a 10. For May, specifically, it is an 8. For Henry, it is a 12.
So I preemptively rolled and I got a 9. So...
It's 15 charisma for Cal.
Okay, 15 charisma.
I was like, you guys are losers, it's fine.
Wait, you seen the Eldritch Horrors before? You guys went
Yeah.
on field trips as a kid?
When I was a young necromancer, I went deep into the Paris catacombs.
Yeah,
There was
I was. I
Two
was just about-
skeletons having sex in the closet, and one of them
God.
had a baby, and the baby looked at me.
Looked at me. And Oscar, as the baby looked at you.
If he looked at you, as you enter, you all feel discomfort on sort of the edges of your perception. Something is so fundamentally wrong here. But you've passed. Oscar has passed. Henry drops to his knees and vomits onto the stones.
May immediately starts doing another circle.
It takes you about 10 minutes to carve the
Oh,
circle
God.
each time.
Get back here! Drag him back!
So if you drag him back into the previous room, put him in the previous circle, you could make a series of waypoints for him to go through.
Yeah,
But,
I think they will direct Oscar to do that.
As Henry did a Constitution saving throw and failed, he will take a total of 1d6 damage.
God, how many HP does he have, Patrick? 10?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I
Not
was
a
gonna say.
That is
How
4
much
points
do
of
we
damage.
have? 7?
That is 4 points of
No.
damage for old Henry mate there.
For old Mate Henry. Yeah.
And now, in a meta sense, you now know that failing the Constitution saving throw, if you choose Constitution, you lose health. You don't know what happens if you fail the Charisma saving throw.
May is Oscar gonna drag him back?
Yeah, Oscar's gonna drag him back, puts him in the circle. Instantly, he looks better. Does May continue to make the circle in the new room? Because it will take enough time that May will have to do some more checks.
Is the room big enough that one person could walk from one end to the other in
Under what?
In under 10 minutes? To the other end and back in under 10 minutes.
If you ran, yes. If you walked, no.
May was going to ask Cal, but if Cal has to run, I think that's probably... So my thought is... my thought process is maybe the throne is the nexus, so the further we... it might be better, and we just have to get past the throne, and then we'll be good again. But,
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Is hugging the wall helpful for Henry at all?
You can absolutely test that out with yourselves.
I'm gonna say
if you
I want
wanna
to try
Henry recover.
hugging the wall and then human shields.
Okay. Are you experimenting with Henry or just yourselves trying to figure it out?
With Henry. Just being
cool.
sorry, I'm trying to make this easier for you. I'm just kind of basically walking him through the wall, against the wall, and having Cal cover as much of his body as possible. Just being please don't throw over my dress, but if you do, I get it. It's fine.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah, 26.
26. Okay. Very nice. First thing you realize, human shield does nothing. Henry's eyes being closed does nothing. There is something that makes him much more susceptible to this place. And you realize that it is his power. You don't have a term for it the way Jonas described it, although you can obviously tell it's a sight-based power. But essentially the problem is that it's always on, and Henry doesn't know how to not have it.
Okay.
Henry doesn't know how to turn off this ability. He has no seeming control over it in any way.
None of us have magic blocking handcuffs, right? Just checking.
May would know the symbols fun.
I believe canonically Fish had a pair.
Fucking damn it.
Hey, but May broke one of them once. Surely she would have
She may be able to recreate something like that. But yes, the fundamental issue with Henry is that he cannot shut off this power, so he is always going to be more susceptible, more sensitive to this. As essentially, you are in a room where somewhere a door is cracked open, and on the other side of that cracked door is the void. Henry is always looking at that open door. It's not open for anyone else, it's open for him, and he's always looking at it. And so not only is it going to be worse for him, it will be exponentially worse.
God.
You also realize, as you take him around, circling around the perimeter, that the 10 DC, 12 for Henry, is as low as it goes. That is the safe zone. It takes quite a long time over a room this big to theoretically go around the perimeter, so there are a lot of checks, but that is the lowest the checks go. You can get all the way across the room as fast as you can. With that 26, you know the DC will get higher and higher and higher and higher the farther you get to that throne. For Henry, this is, even very minorly, even just being in this room, not even really attempting to cross in a meaningful way, is a life and death question. For you guys, it may be a what am I willing to lose or risk, like a potential life or death, especially because you don't know what the what failing the charisma saving throw does.
Okay. Oof. I think Cal can phase this to I think Cal is, because I'm sure May is like, is he getting any better? Can you fix it? And she's
Yeah.
like, no, I can. And it's only good. This is only a preview for what's to come for us if we get all the way in. I think. I don't know. We might need to consider. We might need to consider a staggered. What is the word? I'm trying to think of a word. Like staggering, leaving people in certain rooms and know there's only as far as we can get, and hoping that those of us who are strongest can
Pick them up on the way out.
and
A very
and
dangerous plan, possibly.
yeah.
Flashbacks to the fucking death row, May.
With a 26, there is also something else you're realizing as you're planning with May. May doesn't seem to be as affected by this as you are.
Yeah. Intriguing.
Why?
Cal doesn't have anything that would allow her to do this, but she wonders. I think she will think in her mind that it might be remnant related. But did Fish share the remnant that Oscar had?
I think I remember Fish saying something about that.
Fish was possessed by two at a time, and they asked the receptionist lady, "Are you one of those guys?"
Okay.
No, but whether
Oscar has one.
has a remnant that is not like
Oh, that's
infecting
right.
him, but is present in him. Yeah, I think you mentioned that to the others as like
Oh,
something. to
yeah,
watch out for.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, without question, as soon I think they were like, "Oh yeah, go get a beer. He's possessed."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the remnant a condom that protects the soul?
I think with a 26, that is very Fish language to couch it in, but perhaps yes. Jonas
Cal's like,
was
I'm turning into them.
Jonas was a anti-faceless one's weapon. It would make sense that the children he creates were not as susceptible to the powers of the faceless ones. Maybe you're putting this together just in logic and your understanding of magic. You don't know if it's 100% true, but it makes sense. Maybe have a advantage here because she is less affected by this than other people would be, thanks to the remnant. Oscar is not benefiting from it, as the remnant is not actually attached to him, just inside of him. But as you recall that little wiggling bit of black as May used the rod and almost accidentally ejected her own remnant, May could theoretically infect Henry on purpose in order to help save him.
Yeah, I was also thinking that I was putting this in Cal terms because she wouldn't be thinking of like sacrificing Henry. That she might be like, "All right, I know you're in there with Oscar. Come, come in, come on, willing host. Let's go." Yeah, Cal's got her like head between her knees and is just trying to like think.
Now, also, this is just a lore thing, but now that May has seen the other side of the wall and she sees the much larger lens set into the other side, it is very clear that as part of like religious services, when the Faceless One was in residence, the priests would open that lens slightly and they would be bathed in the effect of the Faceless Ones.
Cool.
Yeah. Cal sits with Henry, gets him as far away as possible so he can be as like cognizant of as like how important it is going forward to you. We'll come back for you, and you'll still be part of the rescue mission, but how important is it for you to do it with your own 2 feet?
I think when Henry responds, you are struck by how unfish-like the answer is, which is, I want my dad to be safe because I want to get the chance to know them. As long as they're okay, as long as they're okay, I will help however I can, and that means if I don't help, if I need to go somewhere else, be doing something else, not be involved, that's okay too.
Cal goes, smart man, and pats him on the shoulder.
You, as a person only just now getting used to physical touch, you see the flinch as you go and put a hand on his shoulder.
He goes, I'll never try that again. God. Cal tells Oscar that Fish is staying behind and Henry probably actually does accidentally do that, but Henry, and he's like, I think you should stay with him, and we'll stay connected by sending stone.
Do you think it's enough? Do you think you'll be able to get Fish out of there and shut down this fucking horror show?
Oscar, I don't mean this to be an insult, but I'm not really sure what you are bringing here except for some extra muscle. We're gonna be fine.
Extra muscle and baby. That's the mate,
this is not replacement center, all right? You have to remember that.
Appreciate it. I'm not interested in people of your gender, but still respect.
Yeah. No, when Cal is like, I'm not sure what you're bringing, May thinks like, yeah, there's no level 10 fighter. That's for sure.
But yeah, without any more protest, Cal gives her May sending stone to.
May already gave him sending stones, didn't she?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, she made new ones. Oscar looks really unhappy with it, but is accepting that this is kind of how it has to be.
Yeah, I think May would probably urge them to get as far as close to the exit as possible.
Yeah, go back. Ready
Yeah.
the exit, keep an eye, make sure nobody's coming in or
Yeah.
anything like that. But
That's
yeah,
gonna be
just
shady
prepare the
one,
exit
yeah.
for us. Or just being like, you're not benefiting us at all in being in one of the middle rooms.
Okay. They give you a nod. Kekino comes and gives his new brother a hug and tells him to stay safe. Oscar probably gives you a firm handshake. That is the only way he knows how to say good luck.
Mm-hmm.
They spend some time in the circle for Henry to get better, and then it looks like they're gonna start heading out, at least to the entrance, to the way they came in. As the two of you plus Kekino decides how you are approaching going through and getting across.
Cal asked if Kekino's feeling sick.
Can Fish give me either a charisma or constitution saving throw?
Well, they do. Mooney didn't get an answer on whether proximity to the causes an issue. Like, if by skirting, it's Or I maybe I
She
didn't hear
did.
it.
It
Oh,
does. It does get exponentially worse the closer you get to the throne.
Yeah, but we can't
19,
skirt it.
he's fine.
Skirting it on the outside is possible. It takes longer and is therefore more
Yeah.
rolls, but the DC will be lower.
Yeah, cool.
What was that for fish?
19, Kekano's fine.
Kekino is like, yeah, I'm not feeling sick. It's just weird that kind of like everything's moving.
Hmm.
That's like, in what way? In what way?
I just kind of like everything's moving, and there's like some like they look like figures, and then they're not figures, and then they stop moving.
What?
The guy with the hat who's here.
We don't see any of that, Gekino.
Oh. I mean, I'm seeing this in Henry barfed, so maybe it like affects people differently.
Yeah, maybe. Cal is gonna look out to see if there's any way for like Kekino to like scout ahead or Now, I don't want to metagame by saying event, but was trying to think of something else, and I was imagining that there are, like, maybe high ceilings where you can, like, look down at multiple rooms kind of thing, and I was imagining, I was like, so what does that mean? That May just yeets Kekino really high in the air, and is like, what do you see?
Spiral on Kekino. I do think if you look up, you do see there are a couple like balconies before the ceiling disappears into darkness, kind of at the edges of the room. It's a really big climb for a Kekino, but he could theoretically get up there. You're not sure what the benefit of like a bird's eye view would be in this moment,
More other
especially if
ways
he's
to get around, like.
especially if he's hallucinating. But yeah.
I was thinking, Patrick, how tall? Like, how many feet?
So the room itself disappears into darkness, which
Yeah, sorry,
means
so
the
that's the
ceiling is more than 120 feet away. The first balconies you're seeing are like 40 feet or so off the ground. Like pretty high, but not like impossible to get to.
Well, May has 50 foot of rope, but I somehow don't think climbing that high is going to be necessarily feasible. Like, we'll be in the room so long, just do the skirting around.
While we're also kind of doing this and like scooching along carefully, I think Cal also is like, can you just see if you can hear or sense fish at all, Kekino?
Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, Mr. Man. Yes, you. Hello. Hi. Do you know where my dad is? Okay. I've been told he's in kind of a that word direction, but I can't be exact.
Does this man with the hat seem reliable to you?
I don't know, he seems nice enough. Oh, he's gone. Oh. I don't know where he went.
Well, we'll keep that intel in mind.
I'm feeling kind of spidery.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to crawl on the ceilings.
Mom, you like spiders.
Then yeah, what's a call? You could you could also be like, let's try something, and if it doesn't work, you know, we don't fully commit to it until we know the consequences.
I don't think there's anything we can try, right? Besides,
Moving forward, man.
yeah.
There is, so theoretically, you can sprint it, just going past the throne. You
I
can,
think so.
you can go around the edges. Where Kekino was pointing and where you think you need to go is the lit up hallway that is like directly opposite from you, so like the farthest distance you can possibly travel. There are a couple of doors around the radius that lead to other hallways. You could be like, I will be in this throne room as short as possible to get as least of an effect as possible. The other side is you will essentially have to figure out how to go in a fishward direction. You will be lost, and will be more tunnels to explore. It will take a lot longer. There may be other challenges or other roadblocks ahead, taking an alternate path. You could also theoretically go up to like the balconies and like try and like tightrope walk across, about being like, well, maybe if you like climb up the ceiling, maybe the ceiling is higher than the room is wide, so that gets you less of an effect. But you're not sure how feasible that is with like teleportation magic.
I am thinking, and I think I still have one more free shadow walk.
You're the one who keeps track of it, so yeah.
Yeah, because I think I used 2 in the prison and then 2 to rescue Henry, so I should have one more. Because it's total 5, right?
I mean, if that's what your notes said, you should be writing these down.
Maybe I like using as many as I want.
I was gonna say, can't we just sprint around the edge of the room?
You can. It is still a longer distance. Cutting across the circle is a lot shorter than an amount of time. But yes, you can move as fast or as slow as you want.
Yeah, I think while they're discussing it, Cal's like, I'm gonna try to see what shadow walking gets me. You just run, and I will hopefully meet you there. And we'll basically try to use her 125 as efficiently as possible, while still not like being up on the throne. Hopefully we can just skip that.
Yeah, but so last time it was like the whatever spell, whatever they put on you, right?
Yeah, that's long gone.
Okay, phew. I just image of Calvin like, you're on the other side, and Glitch right over the
Yeah. Alex is on the throne, and you just watch her pop like a soap bubble.
Okay, makes me start running.
Okay. But do you want to start running, or do you want to wait on Cal to try teleportation first and see what it gets her?
Oh, I guess wait. I'll wait. Yeah. I think that makes more sense.
The room is large enough that 120 feet is essentially the radius. 120 feet gets you exactly to the throne, but that's half the room. You are now sprinting away from it after that. The DC's getting easier and easier. Maybe it's better to take the brunt of it when you are at like as full health as possible before things get worse. Maybe that's the way it works. If you do it around the circumference of the room, in one direction you will get most of the way to one of these alternate hallways. It takes you 120 feet would take you about a third of the way around the circumference of the room, like instantly, and you would be close to an alternate hallway if you want to take it. There's also that thing about like you teleport, you get like that first saving throw, see how it affects you, decide if you want to duck in or not. And then May's just gonna run.
Yeah, let's just go for the I don't know, like if we can what I'm thinking is that Cal is like, May's having an easier time with it because of the remnant, which means May can take a slower way from me than I do. May can take a shortcut and be fine, while I need my magic to be able to take that same level of shortcut.
I will also point out that Cal runs faster than May does.
Really? There you go.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Yes, with having dash as a bonus action, Cal could theoretically use her movement 30 feet. Dash as a bonus action, addition 30 feet. Dash as a bonus action, addition 30 feet, and get 90 feet to May's 60.
Okay. Yeah, do it. Whatever you think May's just all May can do is run.
Well, Cal, I want to say, Patrick, can I be like 30% cautious in regard to the, like, not fully like, I just get halfway through the room and see what happens. Like, slightly more off center.
What you could do, and this may be very clever, is you can run towards the altar, full sprint.
Oh, and skip.
As soon as you feel it getting really bad, you skip to the other side.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, Cal's smarter than me. She does that.
Okay, well, if you're a runner, you're a track star. Let's take that sprint. I need 2 either Constitution or Charisma saving throws. The DC for this first one, as you take off, is going to be 12. The second one, much closer, is going to be 16.
Let's see how Cal goes.
Yeah. The first one is only an 8.
Okay. Was that Constitution or Charisma?
Charisma.
Cool. Choose one. Actually, no. You don't choose. I roll for you. Or you know what? Let's keep fate in your hands. Go ahead and roll me a d6.
Yay. Two.
2. Cool. Your dexterity is now +0 instead of +1.
Okay.
Permanently? Or...
Could be worse.
As far as you know.
I'm just taking the physical hits.
You are feeling what makes you rot away from underneath you.
Cool.
As whispers and madness crawl in at the edges. And then the
Yay!
second is Constitution or Charisma with a 16 saving throw.
That is a 11.
Okay. Constitution or Charisma.
Charisma.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
Don't touch the stealth.
6.
Okay. With a 6, your charisma is now +1 instead of +2.
Oh. I was like, yay! For a second, and then I immediately.
Does this affect my saving throws for both?
Oh, yes.
Okay, what are they now?
So your charisma saving throw has just dropped from +5 to +4. Still okay, but you know, a cause for concern, especially if it gets worse. Your dexterity is +0 for both the ability checks and saving throws, and that does affect like stealth and things like that. Anything else that's dex.
This can be fixed. This can be fixed. Is just what I'm telling myself.
Ink being like, don't save my stupid fucking character! Ruin your character sheet!
Legit, I'm sitting here just like, just turn back.
Yeah.
Kill him.
It can be fixed because we have the rod. All we need to do is knock someone the fuck out and force transfer their skills.
Willing sacrifice!
Yeah, literally though. Like, mechanically it's very easily fixed. As long as we have
Well, don't fucking lose it, because the abomination wants it.
Our revenge is we just tie Jonas down and be like, we're taking your stats, we're taking your stats!
we're milking one cow. Okay, so Cow gets to a third of the way around?
This is Cal sprinting for the throne, right?
Oh, okay.
So you now have the choice of teleporting and on your next turn and skipping the worst of it.
Yes.
Or trying to get closer and take more of the brunt and then just like skip the rest.
No, we're doing the other one.
Okay. Then you teleport across. This whole room is in shadow, so there's no need to like seek a shadow to step into. You just teleport across. You feel weird when you teleport. It feels like maybe for the first time ever, you're not 100% sure you're going to get back to your body or be in the same shape when you do. This room feels like magically this altar is a black hole.
Cool.
You are being like gravitationally and magically pulled to it as you slip away and get most of the way through. You need to make 3 more saving throws until you are at safety. That's going to be DC 16, then DC 12, then DC 10.
Wait, why is it so high at 16? I thought I skipped the worst of it.
You did skip the worst of it. The worst is 28. It's 28 right next to the altar.
Cool.
This is the faceless ones. The
We're so
devil
back.
from the Bible.
We are so back. That is starting with a 21.
Okay.
Nice.
21 on that 16. Pass it. You are like so distracted by feeling like distance from yourself and your own body and being like, okay, I'm here physically, let's sprint, that you just like shuck off the mental strain of it. DC 12.
17.
17.
Go.
You are able to just pump those legs and get through.
It's the sneakers!
It's the
For
sneakers.
sneaking.
And that last DC 10.
That one is a dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20.
And this is not a waste of good rolls. This is the perfect time to have good rolls. I don't want you to feel like it's a waste.
I hope so.
With a dirty 20, you are not just able to get into the hallway and get out of this. You also can like tell where the effect peters off enough that it's not going to hurt you anymore, and are able to like stop outside that distance to watch May. Where it's like there was a moment of being like, okay, now I need to watch May. No, if I stop right here, I'm going to have to keep rolling. I'll go a little bit further, and then you find that line and can stop.
May picks up the standing stone and is like, "Oh,
How was
still
it?
have all your faculties? You're standing, I can see."
Weird. No, she's like, I'm alright, I think. And she did keep Kekano both for watching May as his job, and also because she figured that Kekano would be less upset with the person who's gonna have an easier time of it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. May is definitely going to plan to do the like hugging the side of the room, and is going to fully sprint. And she like gears herself up, like jogs on the spot, just thinking of all the times she's had to, and is.
You're cutting out, I'm sorry. All the times you jog on the spot and...
She's thinking of all the times she's had to and from, like, various dangers in her life.
Yeah. Lots of running.
And she's really gearing up. She's got to, like... She's thinking about, like, her body. Because she's going to use her constitution to get through. And she takes off.
Okay, cool.
And she's off.
And she's off. You need to give me... You need to give me 6 rolls with a DC 8.
Okay. Only 8.
Yeah, that's
For the whole room.
That's the
Oh, 'cause
minimum
that's-
DC. 'Cause you're going around the outside. Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
you're doing more rolls, but at a lower DC.
Yeah, okay. First one, 9. Second one, 9. Third one, 4.
Okay, Constitution or Charisma.
All Constitution, baby.
Okay.
Fourth one, 15. What is that? Fifth one, 14. Sixth one, 4. So 2 fails.
Okay. Okay, roll 2d6 for me.
Yep. 5, 3, 8 total.
Okay, you lose 8 points of health, and as you catch up with Cal and get a rest, looking back at this horrible
permanent
room.
health points. I was like, oh no.
As
gonna
you
be
get
permanent.
through this horrible room and catch up with Cal, I think maybe Cal offers some healing, just a once over as a medicine check, and you both realize that the stat changes and the health loss is not permanent, but will not be recovered until after potentially more than one long rest.
Okay.
Your maximum health has also decreased by that amount.
Okay.
But that's after a long rest as well. The maximum will go back.
After a long rest, actually, doesn't Cal make a medicine check to try and figure this out? If you want more explicit information.
Did I have any health points that I lost?
No, yours is the dexterity and charisma being lower.
Cool. I have a.
Henry has some health that he lost.
Oh, okay. 7.
7 medicine check. You know what? You don't know. Rest and recovery. This is kind of like damage to, your existence on this plane, which is something that you guess can only really be fixed with time. That's you hope that a long rest will bring it back. Maybe it'll be more than one. You're not sure.
Cal puts holds May's hand with her hands and says, "At least we'll be thrilled to have a Spate with us."
Okay,
They
the room
lost.
isn't moving anymore. People are done clapping and cheering. They were cheering for May running. And
Not for me, rude.
my fedora is gone, and the giant snake
Lady.
thing is staying in the room over there. So I think we're good.
Tekano is just straight up on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
Hey, Patrick.
Yep.
When May was skirting around, did the remnant react at all to being theoretically close to a Faceless One's presence?
You feel like there has been moments where you and the remnant are in opposition to each other, and when you are in concert with each other. As you were trying to survive, so checking in with yourself is only something you perhaps do afterwards, after you get to safety. You realize that in the time you were running, you and the remnant were perfectly in concert. The amount of disgust you and the remnant felt with the presence of the Faceless Ones, you and the remnant are totally in agreement. This is a thing that should not exist and cannot be allowed to exist again.
Maze has her hand over her chest and is like staring out at the throne. And then says to Cal, "Of all the times not to bring dynamite." Jokingly.
Yeah, it's like, I just thought you kept it in your purse at this point.
So I forgot to replenish. Should we keep moving?
Of course.
Sinner is opening up his go bag where he's expecting all of his like emergency supplies and clothes, and it's just
Granola bars. Yeah.
Hey!
Maybe is that fucking Jason quote about being like, whenever I have a problem, I throw a Molotov cocktail and then I have a new problem.
Fucking hell.
The truth of the matter is, he opens up the go bag, sees all the dynamite, and is like, "Oh, May."
No, sees a bunch of dynamite and condoms.
She knows what I like. Alright, we'll carry on, I guess.
All right. As you step away, one last look at this horrible throne room, as you go deeper into the ruins now, and re-entering hallways full of lights, the carvings more pristine. As you're walking, you are starting to see signs of other people. You are starting to see boot prints. You are starting to see broken pencil lead, ink, graphite from rubbings of the walls. You're occasionally seeing like propane lighting setup. This is now you are getting into more of where Bayuchu has explored and seemingly studied. And this is now the not public areas of the ruins, and therefore you may find more information about what has been happening here and what's going on.
Patrick, with us starting to find more evidence of things. Firstly, I like the what are they called? Like the scratchings, the shadings, and like that. Are they also covered in dust? Secondly, do they really is there evidence that they came towards the throne beyond that, or is there something told them like, no, don't go any further?
There was no evidence of them past the throne room that you saw. It may have been that was
room.
yeah, that was too insurmountable of a challenge or not worth it. It's also possible Jonas was like, "Oh, hey, you're here." No. Yeah, you didn't see any evidence of like work being done in that kind of entryway that you came in. It's possible maybe they diverted to like some of the side passages, and you don't know how recent this was. As you're looking through it, some of the this is a fairly pristine area. It's hard for dust and such to get down here so far from an entrance until you opened up a new one. But the objects you're finding are kind of in situ in a way that makes you think that like this area wasn't traversed or studied recently. This may be something that was a little while ago, and maybe it was discovered that the mushrooms were a viable thing, and all focus went to that research. Maybe the exploration was interrupted in some way, or had new priorities came up, something like that. You don't know. You don't know what happened with Bayuchu. You probably remember that Oscar had an entire bag of documents that he tied up and hid at that old barn, and you're like, never had time to read those. Certainly wouldn't have had time if we're going to say fish, but I do wonder what those said. As you disappear in deeper. And as you step away from the throne room, we will have two last scenes before we end for the session. First, we are going to jump back to Fish. As Fish is scuttling across the ceiling, trying to get away from these things, You enter a lab, and stuff is like on. You can hear the whir of equipment. There is some large cylindrical machine in the center of the room. Don't know what it does, but you think you can tip it over.
I'm going to destroy it.
Okay. This is a ancient technology for the
I'm
record,
going
not
to
Baijiu.
destroy
Yeah.
it.
Just making sure. You crouch against the ceiling, kind of hard to get an angle to kind of like get your feet on it and push. You are surrounded now on pretty much all sides by flesh golems as the abomination like is just floating around the corner into your view. Give me a athletics check.
Sure. Also, I would like to do a vicious words at the abomination.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury, why?
she plays for the other side.
9. And then vicious words, which is just a cantrip, no cost.
Mhm.
It just occurred to them like in that last room, because the abomination was talking about like reaching immortality, and like it's like, oh, that would have been a good line, but they also don't have a good line, so they're just going to throw back what they're workshopping, which is you know, you can't achieve immortality, you're not a god, but I am.
Okay, give me then let's see, needs to make a saving throw.
A
Wisdom saving throw. Pass. And you hear it essentially call back. Then I must use your pieces for myself. As you are trying to like push over this thing with your legs and kind of failing, it starts to get loose, starts to fall down, but you haven't quite been able to push it over yet. You have the choice of running and getting more distance, or doing another athletics check.
The spirit of May comes to Fish and be like, please don't do this. It's like, yeah, you're right. They're going to just try and continue on.
Scuttle, 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 scuttle onto the ceiling. As you scuttle through, as you're running away, without any I assume you're shooting off blasphemous darts at your pursuers every once in a while.
Yeah.
As you're running away, you can
We're just
tell,
not doing damage because it doesn't do anything.
you can tell that you are not doing enough damage to stop what is chasing you. You are not moving fast enough to escape what is chasing you. And you have not yet been able to find something, a room with a high enough ceiling, something with tall cabinets that you can hide in and escape. Give me a stealth check with disadvantage. This is going to be your last moment to potentially break contact.
Yep. Yep. Do I have any of my shit on me? Like, did they take my stuff?
You were not stripped of all of your things and like secured properly. So like if you had like a bag with some of your shit in, they like took it off and put it next to the surgical table. So you could have absolutely like grabbed it on your way out. I think you have all your stuff.
Okay, thank you. I know you said that this is the last moment, but I have like a couple things maybe I'd like to try.
Okay.
Starting with, I'll do the stealth roll as you've requested of me.
Mm-hmm.
that one. For 3 total. And then the thing is, I'd like to have a check of the threads to see if I can pinpoint how close my friends are at this moment.
I believe you can only do that once a day, and this is still the same day that you found
It sure
Henry.
the fuck is, but like, you know.
Give me an Arcana check.
And the little guy.
I'm bleeding out of my eyeballs. The rolls are very bad. That's 5.
Okay. With a 5, I think you reach out expecting, hoping your friends to be far away and safe, and instead you feel pain and suffering and nothingness from closer than you expected. And that is it before it is very suddenly cut off.
Okay. Fish like takes out the first sending stone that they find in their pocket, so it's probably Jamal's. And just goes, "Don't come get me."
What is, who's, hello?
Who's this?
Hi, this is David. I'm sorry, I don't want any. I don't know how many times to tell you.
I don't want any either.
Do you genuinely want to make it random who you call?
Sure.
Okay. That is going to get you through to Isles Sending Stone.
Okay. All right. Well, Fish says, "Turn back! Don't come any closer."
You hear very quietly on the other end, "Fish?" I realize the sending
it's
stone
not.
you used. With your Nat 1 stealth, you're not finding anything along the ceilings. You crawl out into a new hallway and found that the enemy has gone around you and you are surrounded. You cannot see a direction you can go that has no enemies or any place to hide. And you start to feel float fade away as
Yeah.
you sink ever so slowly into the waiting arms of horrifying creatures and the knives of the abomination. And then, for the final scene of this session,
Cal gets a call on the sending stone she doesn't even know what she brings with her anymore. And it said, "Fish butt dialed me." They said, "No, stop, turn back." I don't know what the fuck that means. Bye.
yeah. Honestly, I do think Isle would call, like, out of
If she were a good friend, she would.
Yeah. I think it was like Jamal or like connecting to someone at the Canadian Sanctuary would be like, "What is this? What's happening?" And like nothing would come of it. I do think you get a Sending Stone call from Isle being like, "Fish butt dialed me and said this, and I'm scared. I'm gonna destroy the Sending Stone. Don't call me back."
I was like, would Cal really keep the Isle sending stone with her at all times? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, probably. As we zoom in on Oscar and Henry
Fuck.
having watched the others run out and run across, taking a moment to take a break within this circle of safety that May has made, gathering their strength. They get up and gather their things together and start to go and back away, and as they're starting to leave, Henry looks back into the blackness of this throne room from far enough away that Oscar can see discomfort on his face, but not pain, not disability. And he says, I wish there was something that I could do. Maybe I could help with that. As step, shoes on the stone, out of the darkness of the throne room walks Jonas. Oscar Henry. Not who I expected to find, but this is still such a treat. Why don't we take a moment and have a little chat? And with that, we will end this session of Well-Dressed Bones. Thank you for playing, everyone. I hope you had a good time. I'll see you next time. And remember, Oscar, no deals! All right, goodbye!